What you tell them? Yeah. Pain come and get a gift wrap. Yeah. Success is only took it like a kid now.
What's going on? What's going on, y'all? We're back for another episode of Flatbush Famous, man. Got my guy in the building today. I'm not going to do a long introduction, but got a good friend of mine in the building today, my man Klept.
Yeah.
Junior Mafia. Klept is in the building. My guy, cleared some time on his busy schedule for me, so I appreciate that, my brother.
No, I had to, man. You know that. You put the call in, I'm here.
No doubt, man. I appreciate it, man. Me and this guy go back to 7th grade, actually. Walt Whitman Junior High School, right? Mm-hmm. We was in 7-4 together.
7-4, yep.
7-4.
That's 7-4, not like you said, not 7-1, not what'd you say, gifted. Not
yeah,
gift,
we was close. We was close.
Yeah.
That's 4 because of your behavior. Right?
No, it was just too many kids in the other classes. So we was all 7-1. There just was too many kids in there. So we ended up at 7-4. That's what I'm jacking right now.
I already figured it out. Like the school system, most of the billionaires and multimillionaires. Mm-hmm. They would have been in 7-4 too.
Nah.
Right.
Yeah. They really would have been in 7-4.
Right. I figured that out too.
Yeah, they wasn't like the gifted,
mall.
talented, and bright. Like they'd be working for the Elon.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But no,
Jeff Bezos.
hey, listen, I had a lot of friends in 8-16 and 7-16, so shout out to them too.
It went that deep.
It went that deep. See,
so then we were the top 10.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Come on, I mean, I'm patting myself on the back here. And I didn't even try. If I had tried the test, I'd have been a 7SP.
We in the fucking playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? We would have played the top 4. Anyway, man, I had to get my brother on the podcast, man. We just we've been long time friends, man, and I watched this guy, grow in this whole maturation process from just streets to corporate, corporate America. About 2006, you entered to the real estate market and really took off with that. I think part of your takeoff was where you planted your seeds at in good soil. So for you to be an African American brother and to go to Soho to start your career in real estate, I mean, to me, that's very courageous. So what made you pick Soho? How did you get to $1 million? Why would you what made you think you can list $1 million property?
Nah, you know what happened? I kind of lucked up on it because when I left the music business, I was kind of pissed off because of like bad contracts, and I'm gonna talk a little bit before I delve into that question. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna talk about the industry. The industry sucked. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people had bad contracts. Like we talked about it. Go.
So it was worse then than what it is now?
I think there's some parallels, but I don't know in depth how it's happening now. There's more opportunities now for artists, but the industry sucked based on the different contracts. Like you see Snoop coming out now talking about like when he did his album and when he did stuff with Dre, he wasn't getting paid. Right. Then in the flip side of that, Meek is more recent. You see Meek Mill complaining now and talking about what he didn't get. So we were screwed. So I kind of, the music industry left a bad taste. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. So after we tried to put out an independent album. It was me banging C's, and there was a lot of contractual disputes with that. And it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go and how I structured it to go. I said, you know what? I'm going to leave this game. I'm going to try something else. So, but me, and it was funny because I was in the streets heavy, and you know how it is sometimes. Shit got hot.
Nah, no doubt.
Shit got real hot. So I was like, yo, I can't do what I'm doing. Doing now. And then I was trying to, I said, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to flip it. I said, yo, I don't want no industry chicks. I don't want none of these groupie chicks. I don't want to deal with these goofballs in the game. Like, I'm doing something different. So I'm going to go left.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to go left. So I ended up meeting my son. I'm gonna get deep with it.
Nah, no doubt. Appreciate it.
So I ended up meeting my son's moms. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go different. I ain't going.
So was she in real estate too?
No. This is what happened. Look, I said I'm gonna go left. So I met my son's moms, and she was a Harvard collegiate. She had her master's from Harvard. She had a master's from Harvard, and she was half Scottish, half Japanese. So I'm like, yo, damn,
that's what's up.
No, but I thought that was no disrespect to her. Like, she's a great woman, but. At that point, I had a plan. You know, we always have a vision. We visionaries, like Klept, we're visionaries. Mm-hmm. So I had the plan. I'm like, yo, I'm leaving the game. I'm not messing with the game no more. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go in a different direction. I'm gonna do this. Screw all these industries. Screw these chicks. Screw these groups.
Well, the industry jades you after a while. Yeah, I'm jaded by the industry.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna get a live chick that's different, and I'm gonna blow up.
Right.
So I met her when I left the industry, left the streets, but I was at ground zero.
So you cut off all your revenue.
Yeah, everything. Exactly. There you go.
So basically you hit your rock bottom.
Exactly. So I was at ground zero, and I hate to sound, but I'm like, people, I don't want people to take this the wrong way, because I got a lot of clients, a lot of business clients, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to always be real.
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to say what I got to say. So some people are like, yo, damn, that's not the terms I know. I never heard
but your truth is
that.
your truth, bro.
Yeah.
I used to feel the same way about my past.
Nah, but I say
But that's my superpower.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am who I am. Jay-Z don't hide his past.
Right, exactly. So,
I use my past as superpower. So you
and that's why I say stuff like that, and just so people see me in a different light. But back then, I was like, okay, I was really hood back then. Like I wasn't cultured. I didn't see corporate America.
But it was also like back then was like in a sense it's like living a lie too. So when a lie dies, you have to live in your reality, right?
No, I wouldn't say it was a lie. I would say I was a product of my environment.
Okay.
Which is what happens to a lot of us. Like a lot of us, where we come from, we don't get to experience other things.
Okay.
Like, I lucked up to be able to experience certain things that I was able to experience, but I had a vision. So when I met my son's mom, like, she didn't know, like, I was still in the streets making moves, but I'm like, yo, I just met this live wire chick. She got a master's. Come on, you from the hood. You got a chick with a master's degree. She half Scottish, half Japanese. And I'm like, yo, shit is hot in the streets. I got to make a transition. I just left the game. The streets is hot. I don't want to get my door kicked in. I'm like, yo, what am I going to do?
Right.
So I could have been, I tell people, I say, yo, I could have been a sanitation dude. I could have been anything. I had no clue what I was going to do. But I remember I was walking, was it Nostrand, around Nostrand and Sterling, and back then they used to have these big signs saying, get your real estate license in 1 week. Big yellow signs in buildings. So this is like 05. Between 05-ish, 04. So I looked at it, and one day I said, you know what? Damn, I'm going to try to do this. But once again, I was on my face. Like you said, Kev, I was at rock bottom. I was on my face. So I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm going to do that. So I went and took the test. And in full disclosure to everybody.
How many times you failed?
Voila. Look, full disclosure to everybody, because I was making my transition out the streets. Like, I was still like, I had to still do what I got to do. So now I failed it. I probably failed it 2 times. So, and the reason why I failed is because I took the schooling and I was still in the streets, and then I thought, like, yo, I could wait like 3 weeks and then take the test. Forgot everything. That shit looked like Chinese arithmetic.
Right.
When I went to take it, I'm like, yo, damn, I don't remember this. I don't remember studying. So I failed it twice, and then it was funny because I was bluffing my then. I got married back a little after that, but my son's mother, my ex-wife, I was bluffing her because I was still, like I said, in the streets trying to figure it out. But you know, sometimes you're in that situation, you ain't telling somebody what you really doing and what you're going through. So now I'm trying to figure it out, doing this, doing that. So now I joined the online training for it, and then I passed it. So now I lucked up because I didn't know the real estate game. So I used to see all these big companies, Corcoran, Element, this and that. So I remember one time I'm still thinking like, yo, I'm gonna try to smooth talk my way in these companies.
Right.
So I remember one time I went and they had like what was it, like ivory and ivory and red colored roses mixed. So I went and bought like 24 of them. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just walk in different companies like with the roses and just like act like I want to figure out how I'm gonna start. So I remember, I'll never forget, I went downtown to Corcoran.
Downtown Brooklyn or downtown Manhattan?
Nah, downtown Brooklyn.
Okay.
I went to downtown Brooklyn to Corcoran, and it was in Montague
Street.
Okay.
Yeah, Montague Street in Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah.
And I had all these fly roses, and I walked in. I said, "Yeah, I want to get a rose." They're like, "Oh my God, yo, these roses, the roses are amazing."
Right.
They're like, "But we need you. You gotta have 2 years worth of experience."
Wow. To be
like,
an agent?
Yeah. No,
Not
but
a
no.
broker.
One of the top companies. Because I was trying to shoot
gotcha.
to the top.
Straight to the top.
Yeah, because I didn't know the game. I said, you know what? I'm trying to shoot to the top.
You knew what you knew.
Yeah,
You wanna
exactly.
finesse it.
Exactly. So then I start going around, and I don't know if a lot of people know and how it is now, but back then, any company would take you. Any company. So, and then another thing is there's tons of companies out here. There's small companies. There's hundreds of small companies, hundreds of mid-range companies, a few high-end companies. So every company I went to, they wanted me. Like I remember I went to a company, it was like all the way on like 37th Street and the West Side Highway. I don't even remember what the name of it was.
Right.
But I'm like over there and they're like, yeah, we'll take you. Like,
Well, you eager, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
In real estate, we call that aggressive, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You're aggressive.
Exactly. I was hitting the ground trying to figure out. This was 06. So now I was going around to these different companies, and every company wanted me. Because that's what they did. It was like kind of like boiler room, burn and churn. They just take anybody, we chew you up and then spit you out if you do something, and whatever.
Yeah.
So now what happened? I happened to luck up, and I saw an ad. This is back when everything was on Craigslist. And let me backtrack. I'll get to that part. But this is when everything was on Craigslist. So if you're looking for a job, you're looking on Craigslist.
Right.
Yeah, you're looking on Craigslist and stuff like that. So I saw this spot called Mark David and Company. So I went to it, and it was in Soho, right across from the Prada store. Yeah, on Prince and Broadway, above Dean and DeLuca. So mind you, I used to go to the city. But I used to go to the city, like me and Kev talked about earlier, just to go to clubs. So we knew where the clubs were, but we didn't know like where like little pockets
Sarafina
were.
was close to there? Sarafina was
Not
close
too
to
far, yeah. No,
What
but
street
we
was
know
Sarafina on?
Sarafina was on, what was that? Lafayette. That was on Lafayette and damn, what the fuck?
That's the joint there where Q-Tip used to be DJing sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
I think it's by that
That's by the
Supreme
Tunes.
store.
Yeah.
Supreme was the
No,
first
it's a
Supreme
little
store?
more up from the Supreme.
Okay.
Supreme.
It wasn't
was
too
on
far from the
Houston.
Tunes.
Yeah, Supreme. It was by damn, not Buddha Bar,
was our spot.
Butter Lounge.
Butter Lounge.
It was right. It was on the
Sarafina's
same
was
block.
our spot, brother.
Yeah. It was.
I remember seeing Nicole Kidman in like Columbus Short in there.
Yeah, it was
It was
dope.
the first
we used to
spot
see,
down.
yo, Sarafina's was our spot.
Yeah, so it wasn't. So we knew how to get to clubs. Like that's all we knew. Like us coming from Brooklyn and from the hood. Only reason why we go into the city is if it's to take bread or go to a club.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, or
Go
maybe
to
meet a
eat.
chick. Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Go
that's
out
the
to eat,
third
go to
part. Yep.
Macy's or something.
Yep.
Saks.
Exactly. Yep. Shop. That's the only. But we, as far as like knowing those pockets, I ain't know that. But I happened to luck up and go into this company, Mark David. So on the corner of Prince and Broadway, there was Dean and DeLuca. So Dean and DeLuca was like the fly gourmet grocery store / like you can grab lunch spot for all the bougie people in Soho. That was it. So we just that company happened to be on the second floor, right above Dean and DeLuca. So we had the window overlooking the Prada store, overlooking all of that. So when I walked in that company, and I looked and I saw the whole office looked like Austin Powers' house. Remember, Austin Powers' house was like colorful and it was like fly and like real funky. And I was like, yo, this spot is dope. Like, yo, I could do this. Yeah, I could make moves. I was like, yo, I could do my numbers here, right?
Doubt.
So mind you, I didn't know nothing about real estate. so
you let me get this straight. You hadn't sold one property yet.
At all.
You fresh out.
At all. I don't even understand.
Wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Ready to go.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you something else that I learned. So now, I got in the office and I'm like, yo, for the interview, and I'm like, yo, this spot look crazy. I'm like, yo, look at this. It's like colorful. I'm like seeing people behind the computer and I'm bugging. So now I sat down with the owners, Mark and Claudia, and I'm like, they're like, yo, we want you, we want you. We want you to talk to one of the guys that's gonna be your mentor. You got to do 5 deals with him, and then you'll move on after that. You got to do these 5 deals so you learn the system.
Right.
I said, all right. So look, sat down with him. He started talking to me, Chad, if you listen to this, shout him out, Chad Thomas. So I sat down with Chad, and it's the first day interview. I'm talking to him. He talking to me like explaining the real estate. I said, look, I looked him dead in the face. I said, look, yo, I'm not trying to be like arrogant or cocky, but I just want to let you know, like, if I'm at this company, I'm going to become the top agent in this company. They had like 2 or 3 offices. It was like 400 plus agents. This was May 2006. I said, yo, if I come to this company, I'm gonna be the top agent in the company. Like I'm just telling you because I know what I do. Like once I understand all of this, I'm gonna be the top agent in the company.
No doubt.
I told him just like probably the word for word. Yeah, so he looked at me because he was the top agent.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, but I didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, just so you know, like, and mind you, I never sold no real estate. I didn't know what I was doing. I just looked at the spot. I'm like, yo, I gotta make something pop. So now that's May 06. So now they hired me. So I got in the game and I used to work like a dog, and I was so aggressive with it. Like I used to be in the office, get in the office like 8 o'clock. I'm leaving like 9, 10 at night, trying to understand and learn the game for months.
So did he show you a lot?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a funny style, but still a good dude. But
okay.
It is what it is. But I took it upon myself to understand what I had to do. So the crazy part.
When you mean understand deals?
Understand the whole structure.
The concept.
Like, yeah.
So how did you start figuring out what deals? Like what's a good deal?
Or how to go about going into a deal?
Like a lot of bumps and bruises.
Yeah,
like
it's hard to find your niche.
Yeah, I was running around doing stuff, doing the wrong things, bumping into walls, going to the wrong places. Cause the crazy part about it, which what I love about that company, it was like I call it like the Marines. It was a rugged company. Like back then, we had to take pictures of the properties, and it was a rental company. So we were renting open listings. So shit that people could find on their own.
Right.
But they explained to us how to express it. They said, look, you got to understand, people are paying you for a service. They're not even though it's open listings, they're paying you for a service. You're helping them find their stuff faster. It's like if you have a travel agent, you could go online or call somebody, not back then, but you could call somebody or call the airline and book your own trip, or you could get somebody that's going to lay it out. You tell me, I want this. I want that. I want to fly here. I want this. I want when I land. I want, like, they're paying you for service.
Right.
So that's the route that I took. So now, what I can say is, after I started in May 06, I studied the game, and by the end of 2007, because 06 was half a year, so by the end of 07 to 08, I was the top agent. Like I remember holding my son in my hand, receiving the top agent award.
Wow.
For that whole company.
Wow. Yeah, dope.
For all the officers.
Wow.
Like
salute.
Yeah. Another time.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I'm big on that. Though.
Yeah.
Manifestation.
So I put in the work for it. It was a lot of work, and I remember my first 2 months. Something else, Kev, you're gonna laugh at. You remember we was in the streets, so we used to drive everywhere.
No doubt.
So when I started in that company, I had to take the train. I ain't take the train in like 10 years.
Since high school.
Yeah. So look, so now I never forget it. It was funny as hell because it was on the corner of Prince and Broadway. So I go downstairs and I take out $2 and I say, let me get a token, and push the money into the little slot. The lady looked at me, she said, we ain't use tokens for years.
You ain't realize the machines you want.
I ain't know. Yeah. So it's Metro card. So
when we went to school, right? Because you went to Julia Richmond, right?
No.
You went to,
I went to graphics.
You went to graphics.
Graphics, and then
That was on
Ravis
59th.
Right.
What was it at? Graphics was on 59th?
Graphics was on 49th.
49th.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I went to King. It was on 66 in Amsterdam.
Right.
But we always used to meet up, especially at 59th Street train station. That was like the Terror Dome, because that's where the A, the C, the one, all them joints met at 59th Street. That's what the Decepticons was really big back then.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah, that's when because they used to try to come up to my school, where they used to come up there with hammers and
that was wild.
Yo, these dudes was crazy trying to hit people with hammers.
The Decepticons back in them days, because it was crazy. Because I went.
But
to
you went to school when you went to graphics.
Yeah, I was in
Park
graphics.
West was called. Park
I was
West?
just about to say that. It was like graphic communication was
like the hub.
Yeah, it was the hub. That was
Decepticon
that
hub.
was
Yeah.
Cybertron, where the Decepticons are really from. And then you had the Autobots were in Park West. That was Park West. Right? What was
Yeah, Park West.
Park
Yeah,
West.
but they had so many like
It was
I guess you
Park
said
West.
fractions of it because wasn't do some automotive high school.
I don't know. I
And
think
a lot of them Brownsville kids too.
but no. But you know what it was?
Graphics is where it started.
Yeah,
at.
Yeah,
no,
graphics.
but when he say Brownsville, you got to remember. In graphic communication, it was all them dudes coming from
everywhere.
Yeah, it
Brownsville.
was everywhere. Like everybody was there. Tech, Smith and Wesson, like they were Decepticons. You had a bunch of people.
Yeah, I went to
all
King. It
around.
was a bunch of Brownsville guys too. We all that year I came in. They brought a lot of us from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
It was dope. I was happy.
Not a lot from Flatbush, but I
Yeah.
went from Whitman to King, and I didn't even. That was my last choice. That's why I was pissed off. I'm like, yo, it's the last school I put down. This way I
But
get
King was
accepted.
working for you.
Nah, but it was good.
King was not. I love King.
Yeah,
No,
King
that's
was
what
working
I'm
for
saying,
you.
yo.
I love King.
Yo,
I love Martin Luther King. I love him so much they kicked my ass out.
Yeah.
Boy, I love that school to the. I don't
Listen,
know, boy. I love
I didn't
King.
even know Kev went to King. To
Right.
chick asked me one day, you know Polo Kev? I was like, miss,
That's
don't
all I
know
used to wear.
I don't know Polo Kev. I'm trying to sit down, like,
Right.
you know, excuse me. You sure you don't know Polo Kev? And she takes the flyer, but this is his party. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going to the
I got a
party.
bunch of
I didn't
Kevs.
even get to how
Right.
that this is my guy. You know what I mean?
I got a bunch of parties
But
wrapped up in me, man.
What, I'm dying. So now the Polo Kev. So a couple of weeks later, I said, yo, call you Polo Kev. He said, oh, that was high school king. I said, okay, on to the next
man,
thing.
you know, they swore I was G'ing, bro.
right.
But I couldn't G. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was hustling. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I was selling crack, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I would go buy my Polo. You know what I'm saying? But everybody just call me Polo Kev. 'Cause,
Right.
Ski man. You know,
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
you know
wildin',
we had
wildin'
the
with
double
it.
flag joint and but I know that you was definitely like fly. I remember you used to have it from like Polo from like the socks.
Yeah, that's when it started.
I
It
mean-
started in graphics. Yeah, graphics is what really put me on to it. Cause before going there, I was hitting up Bloom's sales department. Like, 50% off. Oh, whoa, what's this? Oh, a little scribble. Oh, this and
Yo,
that.
did you ever used to run in Century 21?
Nah, not back then. But
That wasn't your era?
Nah, and maybe a little later. But remember, this was. I'm gonna keep it real and not to date myself.
But Century 21 was around when we was in high school.
Probably, yeah. But this.
You remember that? The one down by Fulton, that Broadway Nassau?
Yeah,
somewhere?
Broadway Nassau.
I went straight. I'm gonna keep it real. I went straight to Macy's. Like it was. Let me see what year. That was 87. That was 87.
Right.
And that's when I started. Before that, I was doing my little street hustling thing, like across from my crib, like doing whatever, the 8 ball.
Yeah.
But and going to the 50% off.
Yeah.
But then
That's when they used to have like the sample sales too, right?
Yeah,
Like the spots.
I started off with like going to Bloom's, like seeing the 50% rack, and just I was making my little bread, doing what I got to do, buying stuff. But then when I went to print, it was a lot of live dudes. I big them up all the time. My man Scott, he got For Real though. Scott, Boost and Billy, all these dudes. They was in printing was wild with it. Like I went there because remember we was from the bush. So people had a different flex. Like it was Travel Fox and all sort of other stuff. And they wasn't like when I went to print, just like when you were at King, you probably saw you were seeing chicks coming from uptown with door knockers and look Gucci
Alpo
boots.
Look, all them dudes outside the school in the Suzuki sidekicks.
Yeah, Gucci boots up to their ankle.
With
girls
the bag.
with the bag to match the Gucci boots. Big bangle earrings.
They was getting the African braids on 125th back then. They was come with the braid. Them Harlem girls used to get their hair braided on 125th, the 5411s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They was wild.
It was a different flex up there. You're right. It was a different flex.
We didn't see that in Brooklyn. So when
What's the spot they used to go to on the east side where they used to take the pictures and they got the earring is this big and they stand next to the earring? It was a picture spot all the Harlem girls went to.
I don't know, but I know I used to be on 125th. I know that
Go to Mart 125th.
Yeah.
I mean, just a strip.
Yeah, so what I was saying is coming from Brooklyn and especially being in Flatbush, which is really a Caribbean community, and even you had the people like, not to jump back to Flatbush. I was from Ocean and Caton, so I remember like K Born, all these different dudes on the corner. Like this is around when Slick Rick, the Ruler, and all of that came out. That was them times. Like I mean, that we talking about Coca-Cola shirts and then Benetton now coming through. We talking
AJ
about
jeans.
Yeah, AJ.
You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
man.
You know what I mean?
Like when the guests dropped, it was crazy.
Stan Smiths when they first dropped.
We talking about
Jordan
that
ones.
Fila suits. Yeah,
Jordan ones when they first dropped.
Sergio Tacchini.
I was a little dude
Elise.
studying. Like we was little dudes studying that, looking like I remember like.
But they had some fly dudes in Flatbush.
Yeah.
I know some guys, man. I mean, these guys
Cook,
had
shout
the
out to
waves
Cook and all of
going
them.
This way.
We spoke about a dude before that was doing the 101s, the shirts, the blazers.
Oh, Miguel Navarro. Yeah.
You had Flatbush. What was it? Flatbush Mall. What was it called?
Which one on
The
Flatbush?
one on Flatbush.
Like
and Ken, what was it? Right over there.
yeah.
What was it? Flatbush. I forgot
thought it was
what
a
they
Flatbush
called it.
Mall.
Was it
That's
Flatbush?
what it was called.
Everybody
right?
used to go get their gold teeth from Al.
Yeah, remember the
Al?
dude
No,
Art too. Art. They had one
Art.
with
That's what I'm talking about. Al was on Nostrand. Art was in the mall.
Art had the reddish kind of hair.
Yeah. With the
but Art
mustache.
used to take all the stolen jewelry
Yeah,
too. I sold a couple of VCRs to Art before. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Art.
You know,
Al
back
was
when
in
we
his
used to-
house.
Yeah,
Al was in his house on
Nostrand between Lenox and Linden.
Al was in his house on
Art
Nostrand.
Fence.
Yeah, I went to
was the
Steve.
fence.
You
Art-
remember Panamanian
yeah.
Steve?
Nah.
That's what did my gold tooth. It was a
Right.
Panamanian dentist in the 90s named Steve.
Nah, I never went
And he
to
used to
Steve.
use Panamanian gold. Dental gold.
Right.
So you used to go to Steve, but Steve was like $150 for one tooth. So dudes ain't really go to Steve. But
Right.
my mother was like, if you gonna get it, you better go to Steve and get dental gold. So yeah, man.
I used to go to Al a lot.
Al was on Nostrand upstairs.
Yeah,
I got some stuff from Al. I ain't like Al work.
But Art was
work.
like the fence.
Art was the fence.
Anything
But
the fence?
Art was the first one. You go in Flatbush Mall, the first booth to your left was a
Yeah.
Jew, but he had reddish hair.
Everything.
His name was
I wonder
Art.
what's
He
up
was
with
short.
him. Damn.
And he used to take like all the stolen stuff,
Send it.
He was a fence.
He's like,
you know what I'm
send
saying?
it. I
Send
got
it.
it.
Like, so
Art,
we
you
had a
get
little
your
system.
jewelry. Yeah, you get
But
a
then
ring.
you could take that and spin it into jewelry, gold fronts. Be like, yo, all right, give me 2 VCR. All right, but give me some bottoms. You know what I'm saying? He'll pull out the yellow thing. All right, come back in 2 weeks. Come back, pop him in your mouth.
I don't think I got. I think I got like nugget rings. Remember the nugget rings? You get the nugget rings from.
Yep.
I got the nugget rings from Art, but Al, I remember because when you lose your gold, you get frames. You got like 6 frames across the bottom.
Yeah.
You smiling, it's all frames. Like then you switch it up. Next thing you got like 3 on the side. You got
There was
this.
another dude named, I think his name was Richie.
Nah.
He was a young boy. He was like Chinese Jamaican. He was like kind of Chinese looking. He lived over there like on 23rd and Clarendon, somewhere over there at Clarendon. And he used to do fronts.
Nah, I only mess. I used to love Al because
Yeah.
and it was like he was He was in
I
the
was on
house
the upstairs.
Yeah, he was in the house like his whole family. It's like, yo, you go do
Take
the mall,
impressions, take impressions,
you take
and
the
then,
mall, and then you come back and your teeth, you just chilling, you smiling.
But I seen a lot of dudes' teeth and stuff turning green and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it was dude. You know what it was? It was dudes that got them permanents. Like when you get them permanent.
I had a permanent. When I removed it, was nothing wrong with my tooth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I always had the ones that
you had dental gold.
Dudes was going gangrene on the
dental
street. Yeah, but dudes look like, yo, you know your teeth turning green under that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but dudes were so pressed for the fashion back then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was crazy.
But I knew some fly guys from Flatbush. Like, I knew some fly ass guys.
So you saying like once you got in graphic, like it elevated your.
Nah, that was different. That was different flex. Cause I'm gonna keep it real with you. When I got there, it was a lot of chicks. Like I said, it was
Staten Island.
Yeah, it was. You had the Bronx, Queens, Harlem, Brooklyn, Manhattan. Like you just was seeing like, and then and graphics was a dope school. I tell people this. I never forget it. When I first got there, me and Craig G. We were in the same homeroom. This one he just dropping science.
Okay.
So me and him was cool. Then you had Smith and Wesson was in there, and then me and Maxwell. That's why me and Maxwell is cool to this day. Me and Maxwell.
East New York, dude.
Yeah. Me and Maxwell was in the same school. I forgot who else. I know I'm forgetting. What you call it? Sean Price. People don't know Sean Price. Yeah, rest in peace.
I had Ron G.
Yeah,
I had Rex in Effect.
Yeah,
Martin Luther King was a new school too. It was like a new school. It was tinted. It was nice. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And remember, we have Ferrello H. LaGuardia right across the street.
Yeah.
So you had the talented. Then you go down Amsterdam Projects right there. You go down a few blocks.
What was the crossing? That was 66, you said?
It was Lincoln Center.
Wow.
66th Street, Lincoln Center, Amsterdam. Do you remember Amsterdam Projects right there? You go down a few, and then you got Princeton. You got Park West. You go up the street, you got Alfred E. Brandeis. You got Julia Richmond.
16th Street.
Yeah, it was. Then you go down, you know, you had like
fashion. And Citywide used to be big in Julia Richmond.
Yeah.
Back in the days. Citywide.
Richmond had a lot of. There was a lot of dope dudes, man, went to Richmond too. Like Harlem, I met a lot of guys from Harlem.
Yeah. It was
a lot of my guys I met, like Spanish, even like my man BG, you know, Brazil.
Yeah.
My man BG Brazil from East New York. These were the guys. They was in King with me. A lot of those guys. My man Sterling from Brownsville, my man Brown, my man Pumpkin from Marcus Garvey, Fifi and Feedy and all from Plaza, all from
it's a lot of
Brown.
dudes.
All them guys went to school.
The Star, a lot of dudes from the Star.
You know what I'm saying? My man Randy, other man Randy Psycho, like a mad dudes went to King. Like we was in King deep. Kenny, he ended up being a prosecutor, a district attorney. His name is Kenny. I forgot his last name. He went to King with me. That was my man Kenny. I remember when he got cut too in the damn face. But he became a dope ass district attorney or something here in Brooklyn.
Salute.
He helped, and then he went into private practice and helped a lot of dudes, you know, get home and get free. But shout out to Kenny, man. He's a powerful attorney downtown Brooklyn right here. But yeah, King was fly, man.
The city of itself to come from Brooklyn,
to get on the train,
and you just chilling like.
Yeah, we used to be amongst the white people and all that going down. Like, yo, we going to
50th
school,
Street,
and they going to work. We was like, yo, it was a culture shock.
That's why when I was looking like at Raising Canaan, and he had the whole element where they was still in the low gooses and all that. And
so
I was like, this is our era.
That's how we grew up.
Right. Like
That's it right there.
The lows.
I went to Macy's is right there on 34th Street. You know what I'm saying? Then we had Tenton Trail. We had EMS Sports. Paragons. We had the other one on 96th Street. We had all these places.
Remember Herman's?
Yeah. And then I remember Columbia was out. Jerry G.
Classics.
Yo.
Let me tell you, Herman's, Jerry G, Pacific Trails had so many of those ski coats, son. Because I lived down the block from Roosevelt.
But then when I went to King, they put me on the Woolridge.
Right.
Snorkels, the Woolridge.
Patagonia. They put me on the Patagonia.
You know what I'm saying?
Funny story. Tried to holler at this chick uptown. Because my grandmother lived in St. Nick, so I was in St. Nick a lot. Trying to holler at this chick. She didn't give me no love. Now I'm killing for Riverside. I'm doing my thing, right?
Right.
Young Life, wherever I'm playing, I'm doing it right. She ain't giving me no love. Everywhere I see it, no love. I said, yo, Mom, what's the issue? She said, I don't deal with dudes from Brooklyn. I said, how you know I'm from Brooklyn? She said, because y'all don't wear coats that pass your ass. I turned around, the whole mob got on ski coats. The next week, I went and got me a Woolridge.
Right. Oh, yeah. You know a lot of Uptown and Bronx dudes. They had the Woolridge 40 belows.
Yes. You remember Murray Bertram, right?
Yeah.
So you remember Jungle Brothers was in there?
Yeah,
Phil Tippin was in there. All the time when we was in school, this is our whole era. Like that whole Manhattan
Yeah, Manhattan
just
was
on
live.
fire.
Yeah,
'cause they
that's
don't
why I was
care.
pissed
What's
when
up
I
on
got kicked
14th
out.
Street? The one on 14th Street.
Washington Irving.
Washington
And
Irving.
right
yeah,
down the
all
block.
Yeah,
the
we used to
girls.
go there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you go to Washington Irving after
And
school.
down the
That's-
block was
Sneak in
Mabel
Washington
Dean Bacon.
Irving.
'Cause
Yeah,
you
Mabel
know-
Dean Bacon.
was down the
You know,
block.
you know
Man,
who
come
I
on,
was
bro.
messing with back then.
Who?
I don't know if you remember. I was messing with what you call it. What's her name?
Well, how
Shorty
I
that
remember?
had
You
the-
can't remember.
Shorty that had the streak. Nah, shorty that had the streak in her hair that was in Buddy video.
My buddy.
Yeah, she had the flat top. Yeah, she had the flat top. Nafa, that was her name. So she used to go. So I used to go to Murray Bertram because I was
Yeah.
messing with her. Like that was my shorty.
Bertram
back
had
then.
all the girls too.
Yeah,
though.
and that was live because
It's crazy
Buddy.
because my first real girlfriend went to Bertram. She
Yeah.
ended up
Bertram had
becoming
all the girls.
Same
She
thing.
ended up
Yeah.
becoming the editor, research editor for The Source, and then Ebony.com and everything. Shout out to Karen DeMayo, man.
Yeah.
She great young
Shout
lady.
out.
Wrote some dope,
Yeah, and that-
dope materials.
Dope. Nafa,
But
that's dope. Well,
That,
like-
did, you know what that did though? I know it did it for me, and I know it did it for you. Was I remember getting on the train for the first time, like having to get on a 2 train to ride to 42nd Street,
Transfer.
right? Like 14, 13 years old. I mean,
Right.
it's rush hour. Get off, get the 1, go to 66, get off Lincoln Center. All these people, and then walking up to the school, I was like, yo, I'm out of my league. I'm from
And so many people
Flatbush.
that don't look
I
like
wanted
you.
to go to Erasmus or
But
something.
so many people
you
that
know what I
don't
mean?
look like
Nah, I
you.
ain't wanna
That was
go
the
to
best
Erasmus.
thing that happened to us, though. Because we was able
I didn't
to.
want to go to. Oh yeah, the best thing to go to the city.
Right, go to
yeah.
the city was the best
Yeah.
thing that happened to us because from that age,
But also,
it really
too,
opened our minds.
there was
up,
so many people that didn't look
perspective.
like you walking to that school.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
People,
So we
you looking at the kids
that's
from
what helped
LaGuardia, they
you-
got blue hair.
Right, but that's what helped. Like even with real estate, right? You're able to
Yeah.
walk into any room and be comfortable.
And feel comfortable, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I
With
lo-
any other race. You know
I
what I mean?
love,
Right.
I love the fact, as simple as it sounds. I love because it was different. Because remember, we were coming from junior high school. I love the fact like they had lunch. Like we would leave out, go to the restaurant,
get burgers.
Yeah, we going to Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
We all chilling out. We on chicken wings,
Yeah.
fried rice. We
We
all like,
had
yo,
a
what
deli.
yo, yeah, we chilling.
Go to them delis
And-
in Manhattan. We had Sambas. Across
Yep,
street from King
yep.
it's called Sambas. You had to get a burger with they wrapped it in a foil. It felt like a Willy burger.
Yeah.
You let that thing marinate in that foil.
In
B,
that
you get in
foil, be
school.
janking.
Oh man, yeah,
and
Sambas
that,
deli, man.
that introduced probably all of us to 40s.
right.
Yeah.
That was 40 time. Like we was going in the stores grabbing the 40s. Like
I had a crew of Brownsville dudes,
Bringing them
shout
back
out,
to
man,
school.
bodyguarding them. They used to
Yeah.
knock out everything and take because that back then a lot of Dominican guys was wearing remember the leather coats with the fur inside with the belt and the big
The
Cuban
strapless,
link.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
It was-
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was
the
like a
black
fur.
one.
It was like a
The
fur,
elephant skin looking
yeah,
one?
elephant skin
Yeah.
with the black fur inside. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
put the belt. So a lot of guys was wearing that with like a turtleneck with a Cuban, big Cuban. Man, these Brownsville dudes used to knock these Dominican dudes out in
Clean
the
out.
hallway. I mean, don't even let them know it's coming. I mean, they used to wear them big, thick links because, they was uptown on Broadway getting that money. You know what I'm saying? So these dudes was coming to school with, like...
Heavy.
Yo,
Considered
dude,
heavy.
that's why I started hustling. I started coming to school with money and driving, too. King was a fashion show.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure going in King. If you was a bum-ass person and you couldn't hang on the fourth floor, Brazil, all of them know what I'm talking. You couldn't hang on the fourth floor. You had to have your hair cut, flat top had to be right, nigga be low. You had
Shorty
to
was
lean.
right too.
You lean on the glass and just
Had
wait.
your
You
low
know what I
boots
mean?
on? For
Man,
sure.
back then low boots wasn't even out yet. We had just got on a North Lake and Timberland,
Okay.
and like A Solo
A
was
Solo,
a big thing
okay, right.
uptown for us.
Yeah.
So that's what I was wearing, plus all the sneakers and stuff, man. But
What leathers was out then? That's you talking. What are you talking? 88.
Elephant skins.
Yeah.
Yeah, 88,
88,
87,
87,
86, 87, 88.
8 balls.
Something
Was it
like
8
that.
balls? Was it 8 balls yet? No. You know what? You know what they was killing back then? Back in them times, the Dapper Dans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was big.
They was killing the
And
Dapper
Miguel.
Dan. Yeah.
Miguel Navarro.
Yeah,
Like
they-
I said, I keep plugging that because, they from Flatbush, but I remember his mother, really sewing this stuff.
Right.
Taking orders and putting the polo, like the big pillow that said Polo and Gucci, with the same thing Dapper Dan was doing, especially she was killing the velour suits.
Right.
And her niche was too, we had a lot of big guys. So big guys could get fly because she'll go there and get your stuff custom. You know what I mean? Chuck Rock, all these guys was going to Miguel Mars.
Doing their
you know what I'm
thing.
saying? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's
that's
what's
loud.
up.
Damn, I forgot where I left off at.
Now you had just got the award for the
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
dopest real
yeah.
estate
We
dude.
done delved into.
Nah, listen, man.
Into
This
it
is
all.
a
Now, pick up
history,
right
man.
there. Pick up right there because
Yeah.
I like the people to see.
Yeah.
Not like I said, the process, and just transition into a grown man. See, my thing with the podcast is not to really glorify
Right,
or
right.
past,
Yeah,
but you cannot
but
deny
transition.
your past.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
You know
what I
mean?
do.
And that's just kind of where I'm at with it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and I agree, and I like that because that's why I said that's what I do. That's what I do so that so people understand because I don't want to. I always want to be real. I always want to be real with what
Crack
I'm
another
doing.
one. Crack a bottle.
Yeah.
You can talk, crack that bottle. Don't worry about it. Crack that
Yeah.
rosé, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
You in Flatbush famous, baby. Plenty of rosé to go around.
We got a lot of there's another
Hey,
bottle over there.
Klept. Plenty of rosé to go around, baby. Go ahead, Klept.
Yeah, yeah. So I like to express how I am because I'm happy with the accomplishments, and that's what helps with the story,
Right.
The whole transition. So yeah, so like I was saying, so I got that award, and when I got that award, it was the end of 07, beginning of 08, and not to toot my own horn, but it's an actual fact. I was beasting so hard in that company. I was like the LeBron James Jordan of that company because you had agents that they weren't getting deals done for like 2-3 weeks.
Right.
And we used to have to bring the clients in and sit them in the closing rooms while we take their application. And you had people that weren't getting deals, and I had like one client in here and another client in the room, and I'm going back and forth, and I'm training agents and all of that. I started training agents from back then.
What made you go hard though? Was it the passion?
No,
or was it the
Was it the
need?
hustle?
Yeah,
You needed money.
It was two
like
things.
You needed to
It-
get your
it-
shit together.
it's
Like, what
mo-
was the real motivation for
Yeah,
that?
it's
The hustle, your upbringing.
No, it's multiple stories. I think where we came from, and I mentioned this to Kev a while ago. I'll bring that story tied into it too. It was the opportunity factor. Mm-hmm. It was the opportunity factor of it, and the way the ability to make a large amount of money legally.
Right.
Like, and something else that enlightened me. I tell this story, and I told it to Kev the other day. I remember this was in 07, because I started 06 probably. This was either the end of 06 or 07. I remember I met a client. I told you I was doing rentals. So I met a client. It was a girl. She came into the office or called me on one of my listings because we used to have to post. We used to post listings on what did I call it? Craigslist. Yeah, we used to post listings on Craigslist to get people to call us. So we'll post stuff on Craigslist. So Shorty called me or whatever, and her apartment for rent for $6,500 a month.
A month?
Yeah.
In 05. I mean,
In
07.
06.
06.
06 or 07. One out of the two.
That
Nah.
number was so crazy.
Nah, it's live. It's real. It's real. It's real deal. And that showed me what time it was. So now, I remember it was a 27-year-old chick. She came in. Yeah. It was a 27-year-old chick. She came in looking for a house. She's like, look, I'm looking for an apartment. I want to spend not 27. I want to spend $6,500 a month, me and my boyfriend. So I say, all right, whatever. So look, I take them out. I do my rounds. I find a bunch of properties. I remember the property that they saw, 325 Fifth Avenue in Koreatown, right by like 29th Street off of 34th. I remember it vividly. So now I take them to find the apartment. They look at it and they see it and they want it. So I say, okay, we got to go back to my office. I need your paperwork. So I said, look, I need your tax returns, your bank statement. I need your letter of employment. And I gave them the rundown of everything that I need. So we get back to my office. I said, look, we got to run credit. This is what we got to do. Boom, boom, boom. So we get back to my office. She give me her ID, send the tax returns. So she give me her bank statement. 27 years old. She gave me her bank statement. She had $986,000
in the bank
in her savings account at 27 years old.
Dope.
So when I saw that,
bananas.
I was like, yo, what the fuck is in my mind? She didn't know that, but in my mind, and I never looked back. I'm like, yo, I'm out here chasing these chicks in the hood. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And you got
and
20.
This is walking
this,
around.
This is what's happening in the world. You got 9. And look, you got to keep in mind, she had investment portfolios. She had her tax return. She's still getting bread.
Right.
So when I saw that
money's turning.
Look, I never looked back.
Right. My man,
salute. I never looked back. So when I saw that, I said, yo, but I'm not saying that to be like, yo, screw you. I'm just saying, if I was never in that environment,
you wouldn't have seen
I wouldn't have saw that. So it's a lot of us that are not in that environment, and we don't understand what's happening in the world. So we get in this bubble, and so I feel fortunate and blessed to be able to see
no doubt. But people would think that in order for a person to have that type of money, they got to be an athlete or entertainer or something like that. But you saw it from a different perspective, and it only fueled the fire that was already in you. That was already
bugging.
Was already burning crazy. Am I right?
Right.
And then I saw that, and then like I said, then I started seeing like, yo, I could do it, and it was I wouldn't say light money, but good money. So I would see like, okay, damn, I just scored a little 45 here, I scored a 5 here, I scored a little 3 here, and it was all adding up 7 here. And then when I started getting into sales, and I get into that too, as you start seeing a little 25, 35, 40 here, 25 here, another 15 here, another 18 here, another 25 here, and then you just start.
That's definitely motivation.
Yeah, you start putting a little 90 here, 60 here, this, that,
but
75 here.
If you don't take that first step,
right.
Yeah.
Right. You see what I'm saying? If you don't take the first, then there is no 90 here.
Right. If you don't fail that test twice.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta,
But you gotta have the courage and the tenacity to say, okay, I failed it once, I'm gonna go back and take it again. That real estate test is no joke.
Right.
Yeah. It ain't.
Right. It's not. You really have to study. You know what I mean? You can't just try to
wing it. Can't wing it.
Definitely can't wing it. It's not a multiple choice like these transit tests and stuff like that, right?
Because you just got to be lucky on a Saturday for that shit.
Then after you do get your license, then you say, I'm going to go to one of the top firms.
Right.
Right? So you see the mentality?
Yeah, no.
That's what I call a millionaire mindset, right? Then you decide, you know what, I'm going to go into a tank full of sharks.
Yep.
And in that tank full of sharks, I'm going to be a fucking shark. I'm going to be a great white. And you tell the guy who's a top salesman at the company, I'm a fucking great white nigga.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be that great white over here. Then on top of that, you actually turn out to be that great white.
Right.
But it don't happen unless you have that
millionaire mindset.
That millionaire mindset. And this is why I'd rather sit down and interview a person like Terrence, I call him Terrence or Klept, whatever you prefer to be called. Right. Because I got the same mindset.
I let Klept alone, but I use it when I'm
when it's
jumping
convenient.
back into the.
But you gotta remember, I know you before Klept, so whatever, you still my brother.
Yeah, of course.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And these dudes are the same dudes like myself. You know what I'm saying? We're risk takers. We're go getters.
That's a testament to you guys as men, and which is inspiration to the brothers watching this or that's gonna watch this, because they need to see guys like y'all who they can identify with, wearing the same things they're wearing, you know, doing great things, so they can aspire to be great instead of thinking that the guy that went around the block with the car that he barely could pay for or he only has is where it's at.
Listen, I told you outside, this shit is a fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
without
if
question.
you really playing out here in life, I mean, life is a fight. It's hard. This ain't easy.
Yeah.
Some people make it look ezy because they're only showing you the good side of the life. But this shit is hard, bro.
But it's like a hooper. They don't show you all the missed shots.
What we talking about? The metaverse.
Yeah.
Right.
The metaverse.
And all these different things that's transpiring in the future.
You gotta open your mind.
Right. You have to really open your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the Bitcoin and things like that nature, you know, people looking like it's a fad or it's going to fade away, but this could be the new way.
Right.
Not could be.
It's a new way, right? Okay, so if it's the new way, my brother, if it's a new way, then why we not doing it?
Because you know why? Because once again, we're products of our environment, and what people do is like, and we're all guilty of it, because you got to look at it, and you know this, Kev. Those dudes that were the nerds back when we in school, we looked at them like they was idiots. But if we could blend our swag and our flyness and still incorporate that quest for knowledge, you know how far and how much higher we would be in life.
Right.
Yeah, like but we didn't know that. But now that's probably the stuff we're instilling onto our kids.
Right.
Because we learn that. We learn that from
Learn
now.
to create generational wealth.
Yeah, exactly.
Check this out. In 99, you were talking earlier about in 99 that most experts said that the internet was a joke. It was a scam.
Joke.
They didn't believe in the internet. It's a scam. The internet will go.
Front page article.
Can't live without the internet right now. Try living without it.
Yeah, front page article.
Try to go somewhere without your GPS. Try.
Page article, the internet was
How did we
scam.
get anywhere before GPS?
Shit, we got lost.
But like
I'm fucked up. How did we get anywhere, bro? Because you can't get nowhere now without, you can't do nothing without your phone.
Yep.
But they said it was going to be a joke in 99. This is what we spoke about earlier, right?
Yep.
So here's now they got the metaverse. You see guys like Mark Zuckerberg and these guys, right? They're investing heavily into this, right? So these are signs. You know what I mean? Elon Musk, all these type of guys, right? So then you got guys like myself, guys like yourself that grew up in the inner city. And if we follow the trend and the fad, nobody I know is really fucking with this metaverse stuff.
Yeah, because they look at it, they look at dudes, and I mean, I kind of love it too, but love, like dudes is so caught up in that hype. You caught up in the strip clubs, you caught up in like, I need the bling, I need this, I need that. Look, you rather have bling or you rather have 500 million?
Yeah.
Which one you rather have?
They'd rather have bling.
Yeah, no.
I know guys personally,
no.
that ran through some real PPP loan, PPP
money.
and some SP. I know some dudes that show me their account and ain't got $1 a day.
But listen. When I say that question, this is how I'm saying it. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying if I sat down in front of 10 dudes and say, hey, you rather have bling or you rather have 500 million? Which one do you want?
They're gonna ball.
No, they're gonna say 500 million. If I say you got a choice within the next 5 minutes, I give you bling or I give you 500 million. Which one do you want?
But even with that, they're gonna squander it because they don't know.
No. But what I'm saying is, to get the 500 million, if you take the time to understand the direction that the world is going in, you can create something to generate that. Like, I'm part of Compass. Compass is a real estate company started by a black man and his partner from Israel, and that company is worth over $7 billion, and they started that in 2012. And the partner is Robert Refkin and Ori Alon. Robert Refkin is African American. He's half white, half black, but he embraces his African American side. His partner is from Israel, who that's my dude, and I get into that.
Right.
Ori Alon, he was partners with Amari Stoudemire. They own the Israel basketball team.
Gotcha.
That won the championship. So he was a great dude, and that's how I got to Compass. When I was at Corcoran, I was beasting so hard, I became his agent while I was at Corcoran. And I was showing him penthouses and showing him different
$1 million listings.
Yeah, just showing him different properties. And he like, yo, I like your style. I want you to come to my company. And I was like, yo, you know what? I'm all right. But they tried to get me for 2 years. They tried to get me for 2 years to Compass. But I was like, yo, you know what? I'm all right. I'm at Corcoran. And then in the back of my mind, I'm looking at Compass. Compass is blowing up. So it was like they started blowing up more and more, and they started taking all the top agents from all the companies, and they took my manager from the office I got to Corcoran in Soho. They took my manager, and then everybody was an exodus. After they took my manager, everybody left. Everybody left Corcoran. So now my man, the owner of Compass, Ori, was like, yo, you coming over? I was like, nah, I'm good, because now Corcoran treating me like a king, because everybody left. So they treat me like a king. So I started chilling there, but in the interim, I'm watching like a kid in the window, watching his friends playing. I'm like, yo, damn, they beasting. Yo, Compass is beasting. But then after a while, they finally came to me and said, you know what? We really want you. Let us know what you want.
That's when you know it's time to go.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So Compass is like how Clutch is in the NBA. How LeBron is doing in the NBA, where they're taking the top players and they're locking them in.
Yeah, they worth
these
$7
guys
billion.
They're moving. They're moving.
Yeah,
they
big dog.
They moving $1 million listings like it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
They big dog. Like they're the top firm. They got top market share. Like they beasting. So long story short, they told me, they said, yo, what you want to come? This was 2016. They said, what you want to come over here? Yeah, it was 2016. So they said, what you want to come over here? So I made a laundry list. I said, I want this, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want this, assistant, I want that. So now they ended up giving me about 85% of what was on that list.
Dope.
And I went over. But I knew, and I'm going to keep it real with you, I didn't just go because of that. I went because while I was telling them no every 2 years.
You were doing your homework on the company. My God.
So now Ori Alan, he's a beast. He like us.
Mm-hmm.
He a dude from Israel, but he like us. He was a playboy. He was live dude.
Mm-hmm.
So now he was a live dude, but he was super intelligent. Like he was like a master of like creating different things. You know when you go on Google and you start typing
stream wise?
No, hear me out. When you go on Google and you start typing what you're looking for and it finishes what you were typing, he created that and sold that to Google.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's another level of
intelligence.
intelligence.
Yeah. He sold companies to Twitter and like he was all part of it. So
he was out there in that Silicon Valley crew.
And that's the type of people that I like associating with.
Right.
So when he did that, so I was always studying that, and then I was like, yo, let me look at what these dudes doing. So I always had my eye on them, and I'm like, yo, all right. And then they gave me that offer I couldn't refuse, and I jumped over and ran with it, and then it helped catapult
You know what's crazy
my career.
though, Klept? That's why I fly first class.
Me too. Yeah.
I fly first class
As much
because
as
I always
possible.
meet interesting people in first class because they want to know what the fuck I'm doing there. And I
In
want to know what
first
the fuck
class.
they doing
Yep.
in first class too. So I meet a lot of interesting people, and how that happened was I met my friend. He was a sports agent back then. He had like Asante Samuel and Josh Evans, when the guys for the Jets.
Right.
We in first class, 2 black guys. He talking on his phone to the last minute. My man Glenn Toby, shout out Glenn Toby too.
Shout out to
Toby
Glenn.
Production, Sweetie G. So we in first class. So I'm not trying to talk to him. They put me and him next to each other. I'm like, I ain't definitely talking to him. He on the phone, acting real busy. So I'm thinking, this dude ain't busy. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Dude,
right.
Hummer stunting. But we all Louis Gucci,
Right.
luggage out, luggage. So I'm like, so we, the lady said, yo, you gotta get off your phone. I'm like, yo, dude, get off your phone. Like, it's starting to bother me. So anyway, man, we started talking about different things. I think he was managing Saigon at the time. He was consulting for like young Tony Ayo and these guys. It just, he had a book bank foundation, which you did the shows for back then, and he was doing Shelter to the Streets and doing all these different events and doing speaking engagements at.
This is Glenn.
Glenn, and women's shelters. He just was all over, and we clicked. Long story short, he got into a car accident.
Wow.
He got to Manhattan, boom, and my phone number was probably the last one that he locked in. He called me, yo, I'm in St. Vincent Hospital. Yo, dude, I just met you. So I said, yo, should I go up here? Should I not? And I ended up going, and me and him formed a dope-ass bond from there. And then we started traveling. He helped me invest money in ECC, Everybody's Clothing Company. He started taking me to the grand opening. Carmelo Anthony Center introduced me to Mayor of Baltimore. We started doing stuff with Vladimir Guerrero. We all in the Beverly Wilshire in Hollywood with Tata and Jay-Z, and we just started moving, So my thing is, you always invest in yourself. People are like, why you playing? Yo, listen, first class, if it's a $400 ticket and it's a $200 ticket, $220. I think my ass is worth $180, right? I'm gonna go get the $400 ticket if I got it, right? If I got it, right?
No doubt.
But first class is a good way to meet people and communicate. But what I was saying with those type of guys, I learned a lot by also being on the West Coast. I met a lot of Persian guys, a lot of different, you know what I'm saying? Greek dudes.
That's it.
Partying, just chilling. Dudes like, yo, like, what do you do? And just
they
love
embrace
me.
us.
Yeah, they love me. You know what I
us.
mean? And these guys become my friends. I got so many friends in my phone that's white, Indian,
Yeah.
other than black.
We so used to being overprotective and rightfully so because of how we came up. Like we always on guard.
Right.
We always on guard. Like, yo, I gotta watch this dude. Yo, I gotta watch this. So, but that's something that happened with me getting into corporate America, and I always ran with that. And appreciated that. So getting into corporate America and seeing the diversity and learning the world, and me and Kev, we talked about that. I happened to luck up. I used to travel to Europe a lot when people weren't in Europe. I'm talking about the late 90s.
Yeah,
when,
Australia.
Yeah. When really Sweden, like
Sweden.
Sweden.
All right, what we talking about? Was Sweden?
Yeah.
Our guys was in Sweden?
Yeah, we was in Sweden.
He came back, man, had me gassed. I was getting ready to go to Sweden. So he was like, yo, son.
This is before,
Raisin in a bowl of milk?
Yeah, this is before, like, it was live. Like, I was out in Sweden wilding. Like,
the blackest thing out there.
Yeah, I'm running around. They looking at me. I'm bugging out. It ain't no, and I ain't gonna say it ain't 100% racism, but they weren't racist out there. Like, they embracing us. They
felt like you had a platinum album?
They
thought you had a platinum album. Double platinum?
Yeah, they looking like they carrying us on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, we love
Klept
you.
for president.
Like, I'm out there. I'm smashing. They top like Nicki Minaj chick out there on she on MTV. All day, and something else I learned out there, I didn't know they had American MTV and European MTV.
Yeah,
it was two different MTVs. Wow. So I'm like,
out
okay,
there she's huge.
Yeah. So she out there, she the Nicki Minaj of back then, and I'm like, yo, okay, I just took her down.
I remember there was some chicks in Alaska. We was in Alaska, Klept.
Yeah, that's
in Anchorage, and these girls was called the Alaskan Kardashians.
Yeah,
like everybody wanted these broads. You know what I'm saying? We was out in Anchorage, putting it down, man. You know what I mean? I party anyway.
Wow,
right?
wow, like so. And then it's funny because I'm gonna keep it real. Like when I went, that was the late '90s. When I went to Sweden and came back. Shorties out here couldn't tell me nothing.
Nah.
Like, nothing. Like, y'all couldn't tell me
what we talking
nothing.
about?
Yeah, nothing. Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, like.
On a smaller scale?
You want to be with me or not?
No, because we used to move around, right? We used to be in, like, DR, Cancun, you know what I mean? Like, wherever, you know what I mean? Puffy them was throwing them parties, like, shout out to my man Obi and, Wowo and the rest of the crew, my man Kerif. Bill, my man Lloyd Banks, my man Dewan, all the guys. But, we had a certain, DL, my man DL, we had a certain crew of guys. We used to just travel and do us. Me and Wowo used to go on a lot of vacations together.
That's
you know
dope,
that?
Nah, I ain't know that.
Yo, me and him, me and Wowo would just go to DR.
Yeah, he like to travel.
Yeah, we'll just go to DR for like 3 days. Or me, him, and Lloyd. We'll go rent a mansion.
Yeah, Lloyd was his man. Like, they used to always run
but see,
heavy.
we in the same thing. Like, I read a lot of books. Wowo read a lot of books. My guys, we read. Like, I got a certain crew of guys that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Wowo. I got to get Wowo up here, too. Wowo be on here one of these episodes. So, so I had these guys. Yeah, we just always read. I read. Do you read now? I read my ass off. I'm audio books.
Look, see?
Audio books.
This is what I was going to tell him. I used to do a book a week. It's probably not a lot of books you could name, and I could pull up my Audible and you see a lot of finished. I think I'm gonna pull it up actually.
Yeah, Kev had me download auto books.
But
I was behind.
I do a lot of those. Look,
I love knowledge.
Let me show Kev real quick. Wait, hold on. Like you see,
I don't think I got that going on my phone. I'm a YouTube dude, but
I'll drop. Look, this time will be different. How to Own Your Mind, Napoleon Hill, winning.
Napoleon Hill,
Tim
I definitely read
finished.
all the Napoleon Hill books.
Finished. Yo, a ton of the
See, you know why I read? I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why I read.
Relentless, Tim Grover. I'll give everybody on this podcast.
Why you read? Tell me one of the reasons why you read.
You know why? Because you're a badass. Jensen Cheryl, finished.
I gotta check that one out.
Yeah. Yo, the reason why I read is because Steel and Fire, Stephen Kotler, finish, like
knocking them down. I've been reading.
I try to do. I didn't do it the last year and a half, but I would do at least 40 to 50 books a year.
Dope.
Audible. Like, I'll do it if I'm doing stuff, cooking in the house, chilling, getting my son ready, moving around, driving. Like, I love that because I got enlightened. I'm gonna enlighten people. Like, I got enlightened to the world of self-development in 2000, right around that time, actually, Kev. Mm-hmm. Really, really right around that time. Like, right when I was, transitioning from that whole party life into real estate, because I ended up doing a Tony Robbins program.
Nice.
So I did a Tony Robbins program. I was about 245 pounds. Right now I'm about 215.
But he was like one of the first one of the first like self.
Nah, I'll tell you what happened. I was out making moves and and I was in Dallas. I used to go to Dallas a lot. Like my mans and them had Dallas on lock.
You want to do the gallery out there?
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. I used to be on the LB Johnson Freeway 635. My man's had
all the loops out there.
Yeah.
I love Dallas and Houston.
Yeah. I almost moved to Dallas.
Me too.
In 2003, 4, I almost moved out there because you know why I almost moved out there?
I almost moved 2016.
No, look, I'm gonna tell
that Houston pipeline.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why I almost moved out there. I remember in 2003, 2004, I used to be out there doing whatever was going on, and I was in the hotel, and I'm looking on the TV. So now they showing houses. So now I'm seeing houses, and they want like 100,000. And look, when you look at the houses,
joint is sick.
Listen, you gotta drive up, and it's a circular driveway with a fountain.
Cul-de-sac.
And look, you can need a pole to change a light bulb. And I'm like, yo, they want 100,000?
Yeah.
For 40-foot ceiling.
Yo, for these?
Right.
So I'm looking, and another thing, them shorties out there, like
I went to school out west.
I'm gonna be yo, Kev, you know me, and y'all could take. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna treat my clients well. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, but I'm gonna say what the fuck I gotta say.
Be yourself.
No doubt.
All the time. So take it how you want to take it. Back then, this is like I said, 2003-ish, 4-ish. I used to call Dallas NBA. And the reason why I used to call Dallas NBA, because me and was it boy? No, it was my man Fabian. I don't know if you remember Fabian, but
I don't know if I remember.
He used to be on
Fabian.
Sterling and Nostrand. We used to go out there and do the damn thing. But
I think I know Fabian.
yeah, you know, if I show you a picture, you know.
I think I know.
Yeah, you know. So and it's funny because I met him in Princeton, and then he lived on Sterling and Nostrand. So that's how I met everybody from Sterling and Nostrand.
Right.
And I used to hang
My
out
man
there.
Chino lived on that block. Puerto Rican
I'm
Chino. He was on Sterling and New York and Nostrand.
Tito or Chino?
Chino.
I remember
Rican
Tito
Chino.
from over there, and there was a lot of people over there. So now little Fabian used to be over there. So now I used to call Dallas NBA because I used to go out there a lot, and my man's had the town on lock. Like super lock. So now I used to call it NBA because I used to call it nothing but ass.
Right.
Because I never went to this day to a state where every girl's butt was phenomenal.
Right.
Like it was, I never seen anything like that.
I agree with you, brother.
Yo, I never
But
saw.
Houston is I love me some Houston.
No, but then
brother.
I feel like it's a Texas thing. Like, but
I gotta agree with
Dallas
that
would
because
always be
I went to-
Dallas would always be Houston's little brother.
Right, but I went to junior college in Texas, but because my roommate
crazy.
was from Dallas.
Houston is off the chain.
like what the? No,
Yeah,
I went to Houston, but
Galveston Beach and all that. You ain't got to go up to Corpus Christi and all of that.
No.
I almost moved out there, and then it was crazy. What else I liked, and I mean, I spend money, as we all do. But what was always crazy is like I would go out there and I'd meet these chicks, whatever nationality, bunny, Spanish, boom, 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 and I'd take them out. And this is back then. I'd take them out. I don't know if you guys remember Saltgrass. They had Saltgrass. It was like that was like their restaurant, like their barbecue.
In Dallas?
Yeah, in Dallas.
Where was it at though? Uptown?
All over. They had a couple of them on
Okay.
the side. But I ain't stayed downtown, but I was around uptown, and I used to go to the clubs. And I'll tell you a story with Buster. So now, and he'll remember the story very well. But I bag chicks, and then when you go out with them and you take them to a spot, we ready to pull out. Like, yo, yeah. They're like,
They got you.
They start pulling out C notes.
Yeah.
Crispy
The
C
out of town,
notes.
listen,
Yo.
Clip, the out of town love be
Yo.
that shit
Yeah,
hit
be
different.
different.
Yeah, like
Hit-
yo,
hit
they
real different.
you confused. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, yo, how these chicks pulling out C? They got their own whip. They pulling out C notes. So one time my mans and them had the town. I wonder what's going on because I ain't been out there like in a long time. My boy Ali, Locator, all these dudes in Dallas. So my boys had the town on lock. So now we went to the club. So now the club is live. So the whole club is like 1,000 or more people behind us, but there's a glass room and Buster there as the guest. So it's a glass room, and everybody looking at Buster like, oh,
Yeah,
shit.
like a
yo,
fishbowl.
yeah, like a fishbowl. My man Ali, he was crippled, but he was in a wheelchair, but he had the talent. So now we all roll up. Me, Ali, my mans and them. So we just roll up, the security see us. They let us in the spot where Buster at. So Buster see, like, you know Buster, he do it, he like, yo, he standoffish, like, right? Like, that's just how he is. He's like, yo, nah, y'all got to do what I need y'all to do. So now, Buster see, like, yo, who these dudes coming in my area? It's just like, we in a big area, it's like 5 of us. Who these dudes coming in our area? So I got my head down. Remember, you know me, Buster, and we all in the same school. We know each other.
I just seen Buster.
Yeah.
Shout out to Buster.
Yeah,
Rhymes,
I seen him. We was all at Versus with
I seen you on TV at Versus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I actually, you know, I ran into him the other day. We was at Ruggs had a party.
Who?
Ruggs had a, what was it? It was NBA All-Star Weekend. I don't even know. These guys got too much parties going on in Atlanta. But Buster came straight. He walked past and then he beeline straight to me like this. I said, "Salute, King." I said, "What up, Buster? You good?" He was special and all them guys, but I was telling Lamar was with me. And I found out, I said, well, maybe, I said, do he remember me or do he think I'm somebody else? Because they think I'm that African guy that acted and played, beat up Roxanne, Sean, take the toothpick. They be giving me that guy a lot. I don't know his Marshall. I don't know his name. But yeah, he's a good dude, man. He didn't have to go out his way. Like, he really went out his way to come say what's up to me. So respect King, respect Buster Rhymes, man.
Yeah, Buster.
Shout out to the boy
Buster.
Buster.
Solid, yeah.
Buster good. I had to give him his props because I not to deviate from the story, but I love Buster's longevity. I love his longevity. I love Fat Joe's. I don't know Fat Joe personally, but when we see each other,
I'm a fan of Fat Joe.
Yeah, we say what's up. Like we know each other, and his people, his right hand man's like, yo, what up? But I can't call him on the phone like, yo, like me and Buster. Like I remember when Buster was putting out "Put Your Hands Where Your Eyes Can See." People don't know he lived off of Caton Avenue, so me and him, we used to
champagne. Pass me some champagne, please. Thank you, sir.
So when Buster was putting that out, he wasn't too far from me, and he used to come to my crib, and we always chilled. Like me and Buster, we go back
Good
to
history.
Yeah, we go back to Young People's Day Camp.
What? Young people? Y'all went to People's?
Yeah, me and Buster, look. Listen, me and Buster went to Young People's Day Camp. We talking little kid shit.
Right.
Yeah, we went to Young People's Day Camp where the bus used to either come pick him up from my house or I'll go to his house.
Right.
And we wait for the bus to pick us up to go to camp in Long Island and Queens.
Dope.
We was little dudes.
Yeah.
Like, we was
you know what else
dudes.
too? You know what else? I lived on Sunset and Vine.
Right.
In L.A.
Right.
And it was this building called S&V, Sunset and Vine, S&V. So this was the party building.
Right.
So Carl Kanai was in there.
Dope.
I was in there. Vita Guerrero was in there. Chauncey from Blackstreet was in there. Buster was in there. Spliff Star was in there.
Right. Spliff.
Keenan
Rains. Shout out to
Keenan
Spliff.
was in there. A bunch of porn stars lived in this building. We had the building cracking, right? So I was on the 4th floor and Spliff was on the 3rd. And I forgot what floor Buster would rent it for like 6 months, do an album. You know, they had short-term lease. I know you're familiar with that. So I used to go down to Spliff Star joint, you know what I mean, and chill. But we had the building rocking, man. So, I mean, Buster got longevity, man, and I salute this guy, man, for
I love
always
that,
reinventing
man.
himself.
I love that, man, because it's not an easy thing to do and stay relevant, and it shows his intelligence in the game. Like,
and his branch off into the acting thing too. That's big.
It's a level of intelligence you have to be able to do that.
I feel the same way. I feel like intelligence is evenly spread across the board.
Right.
I feel we all born with a level of intelligence. I think some of us just really tap into it a little deeper than
Right, but
others.
it's definitely necessity to tap in.
So like you're craving for knowledge, right? I feel like this. I would never meet Warren Buffett. I'm a big fan of Charlie Munger, which is like one of his partners. Nobody raps about Charlie Munger.
It's like
I'm a fan of Elon Musk.
Partner. No one never sees
Elon
him.
Musk. I'm a fan of Jeff Bezos. I'm a fan of Steve Jobs and his whole crew. I'm a fan of these guys because I be thinking to myself, what the fuck was you thinking when you started this? It's just like let's say Noah building the ark.
But
everybody think you fucking crazy when you building this ark until
right,
the
but
fucking
the crazy thing is too, no one
what I'm
never
saying?
stopped to explain itself.
No,
Nah,
and
yeah,
these are
still.
guys. These are the guys
That's a
like
good
yourself
point.
and like these guys
know
in
what I
this
mean?
room. Every guy in this room is an outlier. You know what I'm saying? I only rock with dudes that's really go-getters and different. We know we different. You know
Right.
we different. Like we was
Right.
talking about having a call and an anointing on your life, whatever you want to call. But you know when you're an outlier. You know what I'm saying? These guys are different. And I feel like I'm the same kind of trait.
Right, and
Because
you
I've
look
been putting
weird.
fucked
You look
up
weird
odds.
to people, yeah.
Yo, listen, Klept, I've been against some fucked up odds, my guy. And beat them shits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've been buried. I've done been all type of stuff in people books, but I never give up on myself.
Right.
Can't.
You feel what I'm saying?
You know why?
And
'Cause
that
you got a
determination right there, and you understand what I'm saying when you get nervous and you get that feeling in the bottom of your pit. We all know what I'm talking about. I don't like that nervousness.
I
You know what I'm
remember-
talking about?
I remember.
I don't like that shit. So I don't want my back against the wall.
But check this out, Kev.
I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna work my ass off so I don't have that feeling every day.
I remember a complete stranger came up to me and said, "Yo, I heard your man looking at 30." I said, "I don't know dude from nowhere. He with somebody I know." I said, "They're gonna have to get their best 12, and my man gonna
Come
get
on,
his
put
top.
12 in a box and rock.
And
You
my
think
man
I
gonna
would
get
ever
his
take
top.
30
He's not
years?
taking 30.
And I ain't kill nobody?
Now, mind you, I don't even think he was in MDC 5 days.
Yeah, I didn't get indicted yet, and they told me I got 30 years.
I'm saying you just came up from Atlanta. I don't think you was even in the jail.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't
5
get
days.
get indicted yet. Listen,
Wow.
I was on a criminal complaint.
And
bro.
they wrote you off. But
Yeah, but that always
back to what you
happens
said
to me.
too about the Steve Jobs, right? You know,
Yeah.
when I'm watching a movie, right? Because I always break things down. I'm watching a movie and I'm like, wow, because his parents put him up for adoption, didn't want him, whatever, and because the people who adopted him were so bent on providing for him,
Right.
he didn't have a relationship with them. So he needed to create something that would break personal relationships. And he came up with the idea of the phone
Right,
and
dope.
what it is. And now people are, remember when Blackberries first came out? Now mind you, me and you together one day. You were on Blackberry Messenger.
Yep. I was a BlackBerry guy.
Blackberry Messenger, Facebook, and texting. We were getting something to eat, and you was on 5 dates. And
Was that an app?
And you know the phones. Cause
Oh,
yeah.
he was on Blackberry Messenger with one chick,
Yeah.
Facebook with 2 others, and texting somebody, and he
Right.
only had to pay for 1 meal. Yo, we laughed so hard about this shit. He said, "Look at that."
So yeah, I think the people want to hear, which is an interesting story. Like I said, this guy has many stories, wears many hats. But I'm gonna ask something that the people want to hear,
Right.
and that's really your connection to the notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls.
Rest
You
in
know
peace
what I
to
mean?
Biggie.
Brooklyn's owns Brooklyn's finest. That's one of my. That's actually probably my favorite rapper.
That's
Biggie.
crazy.
I got a chance to smoke a blunt with him too.
Oh, no,
You
that's
know?
dope.
Nah, but the crazy thing
Yeah,
is,
but you know, I used to smoke with Tupac too, because you know, Ack, my man Ack, shout out to my man
Right.
Ack, special ed DJ, my man DJ Action, Roger Zav all day. You know what I mean? My man since I don't know when.
Right.
But remember, I was like fake managing Ack.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was Ack wingman. But I used to get
Shout out
mad
to
at
Ack.
Ack. Yeah, I used to
DJ
get fuck
Action.
Ack like yo, because everybody loved Ack.
Yeah, Act was a
Yo,
great
my
dude,
guy,
man.
if you know DJ Action, you know what I'm saying, my man.
Great dude, man.
You know,
Instrumental to my
Ronald
career.
Williams. You know, I like to call dudes by their government when I know dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Ronald.
You got to think Ack has a genuine spirit about him. Gentle giant, 6'5" guy,
Good dude.
big guy, but he got a tender heart, man, and he's a good dude. So I was watching Ack making his way. Like we used to be around the industry. Like we used to fuck with Tretch and them heavy, Pac, Buster,
true.
everybody, like DJ Premier. So I would go everywhere with Ack. You know what I'm saying? I met John Singleton with Ack. Like me and him and Tupac and John Singleton sat down and smoked a couple of blunts.
right.
And it's crazy because I came into the hotel
Rest
room.
in
Me and
peace
Ack,
to Pac.
you know, Ack did a lot of production for a lot of artists. Special Ed did a lot of stuff, like you said earlier. We want to get into the Notorious
Well,
B.I.G. component
very
of this thing here, because I know people want to hear. But Ack used to do a lot of production for dudes. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So he did a
Ack
joint
was a
from
beast.
Tupac, Open Fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on the highway. Yeah, so he did Open Fire for Tupac. So we went up to the studio where the alleged incident of the rape happened
Right.
to go play him the beat and play him the, you know what I mean? Because he came to Dollar Cab Lab on
Yeah.
a Sunday. Tupac came to Flatbush and laid the joint. You feel me?
Wow.
So we bringing it up there for him to hear it. So we go up to the studio. They shooting a movie at the time, so they got all these rooms blocked out in the hotel. So we go up to the suite. Tupac got the sweet. Now, mind you, he had found a bug in his food or something like that. Wow. So Tupac went off. So he was threatening to, have the whole cast leave, the hotel. Right. So they was sending up mad Don P. So I would take the Don P. Was it the
Parker Meridian?
It was the Parker Meridian on 50-something Street or something. I'm going
to tell you a story about Tupac. I'm going to let you finish. I got a story.
So you get where I'm coming from, right?
Nah, that's why I asked, was it the Parker Meridian?
Well, I'm going to let you tell your story. This is your interview. But I didn't know who John Singleton really was.
Right, at this time.
You got to think this is like above the rim, that type of thing, right? Because Tupac, I think he had the scar. He had just finished running down on King's son or somebody in the Bronx over some stuff with Ice Cube or whatever. But Pac was real animated. So I got in the room and I'm chilling with Tupac and John Singleton and we smoking a blunt. And I'm like, why is this guy, John Singleton, he was watching an old documentary on Ford on the History Channel way back then. And he's like, yo, it's the first Ford. I'm like, nigga, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Right, not knowing.
But this is the first day that Tupac introduced me to hash. Me and Akinus, and I was like, "What the fuck is hash?" And we rolled
liquid hash. Or?
No, Tupac had the one you roll, and you know what I'm saying.
Make the little line.
Yeah,
like a little
but I fucked him up. You know why? I introduced him to that Bergen and Underhill that night too, nigga. That chocolate, that Jamaican Rastafari and shit.
Which one? Wait, let me.
He said, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah, nigga.
Which one? The butterfly was the indica. The brown bag was the chocolate.
It was the chocolate. You know what I'm talking about. Act like you don't know what I'm talking about. The dark brown. We used to call them the body bags.
Yeah,
remember they had a $50 bag. Me and Ak used to call them the body bags of 50.
Ooh, me and Big used to go there a lot.
I run into Biggie over there, man. But I want to know. Well, the people want to know. I know the story, but it's an interesting story. How did you connect with Biggie Smalls? How did you? And we're gonna call him Biggie out of respect. Biggie Smalls was the real deal. Yeah, Holyfield, Fulton Street.
That's what I call him.
How did you connect with him? And can you please tell that story for us, man?
Yeah, that was an interesting story. So back in them times, that's around that was 94ish.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing demos. It's funny because we talk about Action and Dollar Cab Lab and Ed.
Shout out Special Ed, my man DJ Action, my man 40,
Action, yeah,
my man
everybody
Ish
over there,
my man
Andrew,
Have Mercy,
Andrew
Wayne, my man Wayne. You remember Have Mercy? He was down with Flip Mode. My man Wayne from over there about jerk chicken.
So now, I used to go. I wanted to get on, so I ain't know anybody really in the game. I knew Ed because we were in school together. So Ed had Dollar Cab Lab. So I used to go to the studio and do demos. You know what it was? I would always dibble and dabble. I'd get in the game. I want to rap, and then I'll get in the streets. Then I get in, I want to rap. So back in the days, I used to go to Funky Slice, way back. This is back in cold chilling Juice Crew days.
Okay.
I used to go to. I'm gonna take the story further.
Yeah, tell
back.
me this, because this I don't know.
Yeah, this is the story further back.
Yeah, take me there.
So back in the late '80s, just like around the time when we were leaving Whitman, because remember, if you remember, no, that was Erasmus, but like them times, I was trying to get on, so everybody used to go to Funky Slice Studio. This is when they had like DAT machines.
Where was Funky Slice Studio?
Downtown Brooklyn.
Okay,
downtown
gotcha.
Brooklyn.
I wasn't aware with that.
Yeah,
okay.
So Funky,
Coke, you know about that?
Everybody used to go there.
Beach Street.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say Beach Street. Yeah.
I know Coke would know.
Yeah, back then he know downtown Brooklyn. So we this around when DOC had Funky Enough and all of that, like this back.
Get the funky enough. Yeah, get the funky. Yeah. You're getting funky.
Yeah, this back them times. Yeah. So I was doing demos and trying to get on and do this when you go to Beat Street and buy the breakbeat records and you go to Funky Slice and they sample a breakbeat and you rap over it and you rapping a mile a minute. Yeah, I'm super fast, and you just like saying whatever, just thinking you fly. So I was, and then I'd stop and then I'd get back in and then I'd stop. So now, fast forward, I started going to Ed's studio in this was like
the Dollar Cab Lab.
Yeah, Dollar Cab Lab.
And that's in the Bush.
That was on Utica and like Avenue M or N.
Avenue
right
M.
on the bus stop. That's what we call the Dollar. You could take the Dollar Cab there.
Straight there.
Ed aimed at the Dollar Cab Lab, right?
Going down.
And it's funny, I think Ed, he working on the album with a lot of joints because he worked with so many artists there, and he got a lot of my demos. And I'm not because it's me. Some of them shits is really hard. Like
some shits is dope.
Ill shits. So matter of fact, let me pull one up. Hold on.
Pull it up.
We gonna keep it real here.
Crazy.
Hold on.
Back.
I used to try to go in there and do hooks.
I
do hooks. I was going in there in the booth for Ed and them trying to do hooks.
Yeah, yo. So Ed he sent one to me. We gonna play it for y'all live. We gonna keep this shit.
Play it, baby.
Oh, it's going
this is
down.
Flatbush famous, baby.
Flatbush famous.
Listen.
We getting Flatbush famous.
You know what I'm saying? Being Flatbush famous has its
old
benefits.
Right.
Let me see if we can put. Let me put this. Can we put this on speaker?
Let's try. We got the super engineer Roach in the building. Shout out to my man
Roach.
This
Global Domination Productions.
Look, this an old one. This might be. Hold on. Let me see.
What year is that?
Watch.
Nah, you messed up. Put it back here.
Ooh, yeah.
So trying to take my hand like the Muppets.
Yeah, I said me and my niggas be stealing like fuck it.
He's spitting the truth.
Yeah,
right.
Me and my niggas be stealing like fuck it, trying to steal Manhattan like Muppets. Jetting out of gem stores with trays and sachets of truck shit.
Yep.
Like it's legal stacking it, and this was Boyer. Send honey's OT with crack cocaine packages.
Hey, that's my life. That's where I come in at.
That was the way. Remember,
shout out to
that
my
was the
man
way.
Boyer.
Dudes was running out the jury store.
Yo, but check it. I
like
want to tell you how serious my guys was, because I was getting street money. I was hustling, and these niggas was keeping up with me. I said, what the fuck is these niggas doing?
Right.
How the fuck are they getting caught? I buy a car, nigga buy a car. So what the fuck is they doing?
Right.
Being innovative, right? My guys was really taking some bread. So these guys, like, I don't know the story, but I want to know the story on camera.
He said
They used to go get diamonds and go put one in their mouth and all kind of stuff. These dudes was like fucking heist with the Ocean 11.
They was on it.
These niggas was Ocean 11. There was Ocean 8.
Lot of.
Tell me about. You want to elaborate on that story about the diamond, or
I got now,
the statute of limitations?
Yeah, you took the
I don't want you to get booked.
Yeah. That's what I said.
I got a lawyer, but I don't want you to get booked, brother.
But it was a lot. It was a lot happening. What I could say is, as me personally, aside from that, I invented a lot of ways to generate income.
Right.
Good way to put it. Politically correct.
No. But aside from that, like not even just that whole aspect that you were referring to, but it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff. Like I tell people, my life, and I tell people this, and I'm not even making it up to brag. My life was like a mixture of, and I'll elaborate a little bit.
Okay, appreciate it.
My life was more like, back then, of course, just for my clients, I'm left out of the world alone.
Absolutely.
My life was more like the movie Catch Me If You Can mixed with Mission Impossible. Like, I'm that dude, like, and knock on wood, I always got away. Other people might have got knocked, like, that I knew, but I always got away. Like, I'm that dude that had to sit down in like a third world country and get the American consulate to negotiate my release from like a third world prison.
Right, but that's it.
Yeah, like sitting there like that.
That's
like
an analogy.
And I'm sitting there and like real talk, like poker face. Like poker face, sitting in the third world country, and they're like, "Look, the last plane is leaving now, and you don't, we're gonna, and I'm just sitting there like, but with a shorty with mad shit in her crotch, and they don't even know, like, yo, and I'm just like, yo, I don't know, like, no, it's not me, like, look, it's not me, like, and that's on my son life, like, stuff like that. So it's so many different things, It was just a really
Yeah,
really
listen,
wild.
you need to write the book, brother.
Yeah,
You
what
know?
you call it now? And
You
the
need to
shout
write
out
the book,
to
man.
shout out. And I'm sitting down with him. I sit down with him frequently. My guy Sean Penn, little Sean.
Right.
Yeah. So he's writing and he's co-writing the book with me.
But it's ill because you say "Catch Me If You Can," and even at the
It's
end of the
like
movie,
that.
right?
Yeah,
But
it's
then
like
even
that.
at the end of the movie,
It's like
like
that.
they had to hire him to catch other thieves.
Yeah.
Right. He did the time, came back to work for them, and then in Mission Impossible, you have to wear many hats and being successful.
Yeah.
So great analogy.
That's
and what
not-
you're
not-
saying
it's
is dope.
really not-
So should I call you Ethan the rest of the show?
Nah,
'Cause Ethan,
something.
Nah, it was really like that, and like I said, and I'm a lay my cards on the table, and I told this to Kev. I think me being able to flourish in those situations and carry myself correctly and take myself out of a hood mentality and hood demeanor helped
Demographic,
me. Yeah,
right.
helped me in the profession I'm in now, because now I can transition and learn like, hey, the way you were talking and how you speak and how you carried yourself, that's going to help you elevate in business. Now that you're going a straight and narrow path, like that's helping you to do what you have to do.
But it also was helping your friend Biggie as well, because he changed the game with his dress and his style of rap too, which made people want to be the other way. Because
Right.
even though he was articulate and
Right,
street
right.
verse, but once he changed his moniker and dressing and the stick and carrying changed his whole demeanor.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he introduced people to a lot, because a lot of people didn't even realize that, even though with the Christopher Wallace moniker and everything, when you watched King of New York, he came in, he had the suits laid out, was that Ace of Spade?
Well, back then,
No,
I think
what
it
was that?
Cristal.
That was Cristal, right?
Now, I would give Jigga the credit. for
No, I'm
Cristal.
saying and the King of New York, when he came on, he had the gold bottles.
Oh, I don't
With the-
remember.
with-
I know
yeah.
Cristal had
Yeah.
Cristal had gold bottles. I
Right, he had the
remember
gold
that.
bottles, the
Gold
white,
bottle.
the suit and everything, and then
Right.
Big changed that whole thing. Like you transitioned from being this guy who's being articulate and able to have a high quality vernacular.
Right.
You know what I mean? To really branch over and everything. So that's a testament to where you wanted to be too, and what you wouldn't settle
Now,
for.
it worked. I feel like everything happens full circle, and it showed me in life that how certain aspects of your life help you in the future.
Right.
So like I said, that whole thing, like everything that I was doing, and like I said, the whole Catch Me If You Can lifestyle and doing whatever I was doing back then helped me to transition and be able to elevate myself and learn. And then I learned, and then something that I do now is really now, and I've done for a multitude of years, is I talk to kids, quote unquote at-risk kids in like schools, and explain to them what I've learned, like all of that energy that I was putting into all of this nonsense back when I was young, that hey, if I asserted that energy into something more positive, how much you could elevate yourself. Like you got a lot of dudes, they in the hood, they trying to get a car. Like you know what it was. We was happy with a car, we happy with jewelry, we happy with a pocket full of money. But guess what? If you put that energy in, like once again, I go like, okay, what do you want? You want to get this bling, or you want to get 500 million?
Right.
Like you could put that energy, the energy we were putting into our grind when we were young. If we put that energy,
it depends though, Klept. It
Talk
depends if I'm going to give you 500 million, or you got to work for 500
no.
million.
When I say 500 million, it's work.
Right.
Just so you know, I'm talking about work.
A lot of
Right.
people not able to stay in a box long enough.
But a
to
lot
work
of people,
hard enough to make
a lot of people
500
also don't
million.
understand the difference. With like you offer a person $1 million or five rental properties.
Nah, I
People don't understand the potential of the 5 rental
There you
properties
go.
because
Right.
they see
No.
the $1 million.
No, but let me explain, and hopefully this provides a little bit of clarity. This provides a little bit of clarity on what I'm talking about. when you say that, Kev, that people can't see it, or what? How did you say it? Just to make sure I understand
when you said,
correctly.
I was trying to ask
No,
you. I need
no,
you to clarify.
right. That's why I want to make sure.
Clarify.
Yeah, that's why I want to make
I'm
sure I
asking
clarify
you,
it correctly.
When you're saying if you want bling or 500 million, I said, do you have to work for the 500 million, or you just giving me 500 million?
Work, but this you have to work, and this is my point. What I'm saying we don't understand is when, at least me, I'm not sure everything you did. I know you did a lot, but to grind and like say you want to stack 25 grand, whatever, 50, whatever, you had to put in a lot of work and a lot of time, sometimes even a lot of travel, hours of travel. When if you right now in this day and age, is so much information at our fingertips, where even when I sent you stuff, we talked about stuff. If the person, like, you may have to go travel 4 hours and sleep overnight, come back, that's 72 hours.
Right.
Out of that 72 hours, if you took 5 hours of concentrated effort and tried to study something, and you did that for 5 hours twice, not necessarily, you could break it down, 2 hours a day.
Right.
For even 2 times a week, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, 2 times a week, and you did that multiple times in a month, you could build out businesses. You could build,
But
like,
that's
in this
slow,
day and
bro.
age.
Who see
Everybody wants the microwave effect.
Right. You
No,
gotta
but
be a
that's what I'm
different
saying.
type of motherfucker,
No,
though.
but what I'm trying to say is,
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I feel what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, I say this a lot. This is a phrase I use. What's most beneficial to you?
Right.
Yeah, you got to look at and now that we talking about this, because I sent you one of my motivational videos. I do a lot of motivational videos. One of my motivational videos is I told people, like, I figured out the key to success. I really figured that shit out.
Right.
The key to success is exactly what I just said. What's most beneficial? It's like if you look at everything you're doing in life and you say, okay, what's most beneficial towards my ultimate goal? I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to lose weight. And I see you like, yo, son, what up? Yo, let's go to McDonald's. Or yo, what? We're going to go to this restaurant and maybe we get something healthy. If you're trying to lose weight, what's most beneficial? If you're like, yo, I gotta build this business up, but yo, I gotta dedicate 3 hours worth of time to study this and study that. But you know what? It's a party tonight. What's most beneficial?
I know how to prioritize.
Yeah. So, but think about it. If you have the discipline to do what's most beneficial every time, do you know how much that will elevate you in life?
Right, but you gotta have the discipline.
But that's the key that we don't have and implement,
Discipline.
and I'm guilty of it too.
Me too.
And
I'm guilty of
the
it.
knowledge too.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah, but that's the key. Like if you keep focusing on what's most beneficial, because I'm gonna keep it real with you, that's for every aspect of your life. Like, yo, I want to spend money on these clothes. I want to get this. I want to get this.
Right.
Which one do you really need?
Do you think, like, environment wise and us as a people, right? Do you think that
I could say definitely before you finish, but I'll let you say.
Right,
I might be wrong, but I know where you're going.
We're huge procrastinators.
Definitely.
As a people, I don't think we're procrastinators. I think we just don't have our priorities.
Or is it the
together.
lack of knowledge also?
Yo,
because
listen.
I
I
think it's a
disagree.
combo. I think it's a
disagree.
combo.
Check this out. Reason why I say that. I know people that get up at 5 in the morning, rain, sleet, or snow, go to work, bust they fucking ass.
Are they happy? That's
Don't
the key.
don't miss days work. Don't take sick time. All the proud, bust they fucking ass. And I know people that work smart, that don't do shit but let their money work for them.
Right.
So you working hard. Oh, I work hard,
Right.
but you're not working smart.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? So not
that
saying,
makes
so the
sense.
person
Now,
that
that
got the
makes sense.
tenacity to get up and go do their little job every day, that's cool. But then you got a person that's behind it that you're making his dreams come true.
Right.
The person that's moving chess pieces. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is entrepreneurship, as they call it nowadays, is being able to go up on the fucking deep end, like being prepared for like the Joker, Heath Ledger.
Right.
That's why I like that fucking shit. That's the type of shit you gotta do. Like if I'm on a project, I'm fucking all the way in. Like I'm studying the script.
gotta.
I ain't buying shit. I ain't calling. You ain't gonna see me, nigga. I ain't on no fucking social media. I'm nowhere. I'm a mole, nigga.
Right.
Until I finish that fucking goal like a Navy SEAL.
Right, but remember years ago, like we had a conversation and you were saying like, dude, I'll never be like these motherfuckers. Remember you asked the dude if he had $1 million, would he come to work tomorrow?
Right.
And he was like, yeah. And you was
Yeah.
like,
I
damn,
asked
dude,
him
you
if
don't
he had
got
a
no
lotto.
dreams?
All right, so here's the real truth. I'm working in transit. When I asked this guy,
Right.
I'm a millionaire. I got $1 million.
Right.
Over $1 million in cash. This is real talk.
Right.
Word to my mother.
Right.
So I'm still working in transit, but I got this money. And what made me leave transit wasn't the job. I wanted the job. All my life I wanted to be drive trains. I love trains since I was a kid. I'm real artistic. I love numbers and shit. Like I play with numbers every day in my fucking head. Everything is a number to me. That's all I see. License plates, time, like everything, my height, my weight, so everything is numbers. So I'm like that White Fury, that light white was Blind Fury was the kid
Blind
name.
Fury, the rapper.
Man, when it happened in that, I play with numbers like this. I can't.
Rain
I'm
Man.
cheap. Like if I spend something, believe I done made that shit. You know what I mean? I'm 50 times. I'm fucking cheap. I talk myself out of shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'll be wanting to buy shit, a Rolex. I won't buy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though I could buy it. But my rationality is, why would I own a Rolex? I don't need to own a Rolex. I own fucking acres of land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need to own. I own houses. So I don't fucking need a watch. So that's why I don't buy a watch, because I know what, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
but
right.
if I didn't have those things, then I'd probably be a little more vain.
Right,
and
right.
probably want to act like I got shit.
Right.
Right? Which we used to do when we was younger.
Right,
But I'm
exactly.
at the point where those type of things don't tickle me. So my thing is, how did, like this right here, Flatbush Famous. I'm going to be honest with you. I asked a couple of guys that didn't have the resume that I needed. Wasn't experienced like I thought they was. Never owned a business before, and I never did any type of business with these guys. But me and these guys was cool. I figured we had a good rapport, but I knew that he would be an asset to Flatbush Famous.
Right.
You have no experience. But look, my guy, I got something that's going to be rocking. And you know, guys start and then they turn it off because they think they're working for me. The mentality, instead of saying, well, let's do a joint venture, bro. Let's put an operational agreement together, sign it, and everybody's protected. They ask, well, I'm going to be working for you? Working for me? Listen, nobody works for me. I'm just trying not to work for nobody.
Right.
I want to work for me.
Right.
I don't want you to work for me, motherfucker. I want to work for me.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? But they couldn't see the big picture.
So at this time
You
you
said
got
it right, the big picture.
right, but at this time you got the M, right? You got the M. You're a conductor, right? And you're saying like, I don't want to do this shit no more. I remember the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the phone call. You was like, yo, dude, I'm an M. I'm not opening and closing no fucking doors no more.
No.
That was the conversation.
Right.
I was standing on Ralph and Fulton. I said, I.
And my mother played a big part in that, because my mother worked for Mount Sinai for years, and she retired, and I think they gave her, I don't even think they gave her a gold watch. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I was like,
My dad was at Christie's auction gallery, and I think they gave him they ain't even give him a gold watch.
That's
They
what I'm
gave him
saying.
some-
She put
he
like
was there
20
25 years.
So
Yeah,
she, I said,
Christie's.
Ma, I said, I can't
He was the
believe
head. He was one of the security supervisors at Christie's auction gallery.
Wow.
and just retired, right? So think of the 25 you gave these folk.
He used to be running around. They used to send him. He was the dude. They used to send him overseas with the briefcase
Auctioneer.
handcuffed to his
Oh,
to
wow.
his wrist. Like, go to Japan, go here. Like, yeah, it was a whole different ball game. And they ain't give him nothing.
Transit was a
when
dead
it
end
aired
for me.
out.
Yeah.
Everything in my life is at that time. I'm one of them people, if you ask me stuff, I'll be like, at that time.
Right.
Yeah,
Because I understand at that time, these guys was my best friends.
Right.
We no longer best
Everybody
friends.
got a season. Everybody
Right,
got
but
a
at
season.
that
We learned
time, so you might ask me something like Klept. He likes to refer to, his clients and what he's doing in the present and the future, right? And when we touch the past, you know what I'm saying? It was at that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I always refer to that because, like the Bible says, when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Indeed.
So I'm
You
always
got to.
referring to at this time. And back then, that was that time. But I always elevate and grow. Like, that's why I have put the shirts out. Yesterday's price is not today's price. I did take it from Fat Joe because, like I alluded earlier, I'm a
You can see
fan.
that.
I'm a
Yeah.
fan. I'm a fan of Fat Joe, Terror Squad. I'm a fan of Khaled. I'm not a fan of a lot of artists. It all has a time.
It
has a tie-in with me.
Right.
I'm not that person that can separate. Well, he wears a skirt. No, it has to. I have to like you. I have to like your music and your lifestyle for me to be a fan. That's my fucking prerogative.
Right.
I don't ride dick. So I like Fat. I'm a fan. So it made sense because yesterday's price is not today's price.
And it's the
And
reality.
I meant to say that if you motherfuckers spoke to me a month ago, or we spoke about something a year ago, or you spoke to me yesterday, and you come back today, it's not the same. Every day, my thing is every day I level up. Every day I continue to grow and get closer to God. So yesterday's price is not today's price, my friend.
No, for sure.
Makes
For real.
sense?
For
No,
real.
without question.
1000%.
And that's why I kind of, coined the phrase, and I took that because I didn't look at it as a dollar amount. Like we was talking about wealth. I think wealth starts in the heart and the mind. You know what I'm saying? For me to be wealthy, or anybody to be wealthy, you have to start here and here.
Right.
And we was talking about wealth the other day, right? And we was saying, I was telling people that wealthy people do three things, basically, right? They don't trade their time for money, right? So they're not going to nobody's job for $20 an hour. That ain't happening.
Mm-mm.
They don't trade their time for money. Another thing another thing they do is they invest their money. They let their money work for them. They don't work for money, right? And the third thing they do, which I love to do, is make everybody around them more valuable. And everybody around me, my guy, from you to whoever, I add value. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the point where I'm at in my life at 50. Now, when you 50, you might be at a different point where you can, add value to some young ladies' lives. But right now, that's all I do. I add value to your life, right? Since you met me. So these are the things of being wealthy. It's not in the dollar amount. It's in the mindset and of the heart. That's why I like Billionaires Boys Club.
Yeah.
I love that. The billionaire is not money. Is here. I'm a
right.
You know what I mean? And
No, it makes sense.
it makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like a lot of.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
I know it's so good here. You got it. Come on, it's Flatbush family.
Come on in. Come on
Alex,
in.
you down with the crew? Come on, Alex.
Okay, so the only thing I wanted to touch on was the conversation you guys are having about the wealth and the mentality, because it's very valid, but there is a gray area that a lot of people don't tap into when it comes to us, Black people. A lot of the times, the media, the government, they know the trauma we've been through as a culture. They play on that.
Absolutely.
And they absolutely do play against the conspiracy theories and the thoughts, and they plant misinformation purposely just to lead you astray. Like when it comes to the metaverse, whatever, people are gonna think it's a gimmick because they want you to.
No,
Like,
they don't want you to. We think we do.
We think we have to.
They give.
We have to,
The
but it's
information is
also
out there.
Because
Right or wrong,
the information
terrorists,
is
the
always
information is out there.
Information is always out there.
Right.
That's never disputed.
Right.
But the reason why we don't gravitate toward information is not always because we're
Right, but that's
lazy.
not their fault.
It's not always because
It's not always because we're lazy and don't want it. It's also there is a anti-machine that is out there purposely to make sure that you feel a certain way to where you think that it's BS.
But this is why.
No, that's partially right. Like really, but partially in a high level of partially.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why, because it all goes to social conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah. It's social conditioning.
It's like the virus and the antivirus.
Yeah,
They're supplying you with both.
Right, well, it has to be.
Like if me and Kev,
supplying you with both.
if me and Kev stood in the hood, like we could stand in the hoodest of the hoodest hood, and say, yo, we want to talk to you about the metaverse and NFT, yo, what you doing, yo? They gonna look, yo, man, get the fuck out of my face.
Listen,
Like,
you're not gonna get far, and I give you that. Trust me.
Because of social conditioning.
I know,
Right.
I have social conditioning, but also understand me as a female. I trip a lot of people up because I came up in Flatbush, but I did not come up in a traditional way. I grew up in the system.
You was a foster kid?
Yes. And the reason why I thrived throughout the system is because everything that came to me that was crazy and that hurt me, I actually repelled against it, and I made it a thing in my head that I never wanted to be that person. I had to actively fight against it. But I understand how people fall into that ditch where they cling to drugs,
and it's also
cling to alcohol, where they cling to the conditioning. I was just anti that, and I made I made it a point to be against it so much.
Right.
I probably would have been, I know I was at some point viewed as the enemy by a lot of my own. But it put me in the spaces I needed to be to get the same education you got. So we got like different ways of getting there, and I get everything.
It doesn't matter.
No, I feel like I got self-taught education. Like
A lot.
I got the same board of education we all got until like I got a GED. Like
I got a GED too.
I got a GED 3.
I'd be the first to say it. Like so,
I got a
like
GED.
I was this dude that grabbed.
But remember the thing about the GED, right? Interject. If you don't get the GED in mainstream, if you don't get the GED, you can't go forward. Mm-hmm. Right? You have to get that in order to go forward. Let's just say you don't want to go to college.
That was in y'all
Right.
day.
We know the game but now the game is so different. That's why I said in mainstream they'll say if you don't finish school, you can't do this. Like my mom used to always say, she went and got her GED to save my life. Didn't understand it. Mm-hmm. And I said, what you mean? She said, because you were the child that was going to tell me why I got to graduate school, you ain't graduate school, and she would have killed me.
Right.
So she got this shit to save my life.
Save your life.
Right. So this podcast, Flatbush Famous, right? And you guys who look like the whole hood that we just walked by to get in here.
Right.
This is for them. They got to be able to see that. Damn, that dude look just like me. I seen Son at the Booger Smith tournament. Mm-hmm. Man, he got acres. Like yo, and now they looking up the word acre. And, yo, he got buildings. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it makes
this dude selling millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate.
Right. It's almost the thing about it is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, because dudes is,
you know
I mean, the hood, like, let me see, because I'm from the stock.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to be on Flatbush Famous. You guys, Kevin involved me. This is dope because it's my friend.
Yeah.
Right? So, in the stock, a lot of times, the outlet is like they say, got a wicked jump shot, you sling crack rock. Mm-hmm. Right? Understand that. Flatbush, a little different. Homes, houses, even though you got the projects and side blocks and stuff like that, apartment buildings and everything, but it's family oriented. Dudes grow. His father had a grocery, or he made belts. Miguel mom did what she did. So many different avenues, and then y'all guys all branched out, go somewhere else. Everybody's doing something different and everything. Like we were talking about Goldie.
Yeah, Sean
Elliott.
Shout out to Goldie, my man.
Shout out to Goldie.
Goldie Grand Design
by Newkirk.
Yeah,
right.
Barber Goldie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
now,
Goldie, what up, Goldie?
Yeah, Goldie, my guy. Sean
But Goldie
Elliott,
and I
man.
grew up.
That's my guy.
Goldie and I grew up playing basketball together. Goldie from Roosevelt Projects. You understand what I'm saying?
He must have moved to Vic.
Right, then he moved to the Vic.
Okay.
As he got older, he moved to the Vic.
Right. Shout out Erica too.
Yeah, but I'm just
Erica.
saying it's like it's so intertwined in so many avenues. Even as who would have thought years ago that a barber would be getting $50 for a haircut? You know, you guys don't need no haircuts. All
I
the
got
hair.
my own shit.
I mean, I saw it, man. See, the thing about me, I've been on the West Coast since like 2000. So you gotta think 21 years ago, I was on the West Coast.
Right,
So it's LA. I was in LA 21 years ago.
So they would come into the house to cut the hair.
Yeah, I was they was charging $100 for haircuts, and they claimed,
20 years ago.
I cut Mike Tyson. Oh, I cut Tony, what's the boxer? Tony, what's the boxer name? Tony. Well, they cut this guy, and I cut this guy here. I got Matt Barnes and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, you know, you paid $100 for a haircut. But my thing is, you know, the West Coast always gets everything first.
Okay.
Right.
Like that's what made me. I swear, I had a Range Rover. I had the Range Rover HSC. It was a year to date. It was like 2003 or 2004.
I remember that.
Right. So I go to LA, and I'm at the car dealership, and Rohan Marley comes in and buys the Range Rover. The Range Rover Sport had just dropped. It wasn't a commercial or nothing. You got to think about it. The cars come out October for the next year. So if you want 05 October, you can buy 06.
Okay.
Right. So we're talking about 06, we in 05. These are 06 sports.
Right.
Wow.
The Super Bowl was in January, and that's when the commercial came out on the Super Bowl.
Right.
When the Range Rover was going down the steps and shit. So there was no commercial. So Rohan Marley came in, right? Bought one cash. I said, damn, that shit hard. Denzel Washington, I'm in Beverly Hills. Denzel Washington comes in and writes a personal check for one. And the sales guy said, man, if I didn't take it, I would have got fired. We don't take personal check, but I had to take Denzel check. So I was like, yo, so I went back to Brooklyn. My man Charles, I used to work at the Range Rover dealer on the West Side Highway. You know, the one on the West Side, they got all the levels.
That's the
that's where
you gotta
I got
drive
my truck.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had a Jag before that.
Charles
57.
Yeah, 57 West Side Highway.
Yeah.
But that's the joint when Steve Francis took the picture on the joint in front of with your grill.
Yeah, I had
the
the
grill.
I struck mine out.
Was that 310 motoring, 210 motoring?
I think it was 210 motoring was the name of the guys. They did the strut
Did
grill.
you? Let me ask you a question. Did you? Was Tyson there from Hillside?
Tyson.
Dark skinned Tyson who used to sell the cars on Hillside in Queens.
Oh shit! You know we bought a few cars off of fucking Hillside.
You remember Tyson, the dark skinned
was he where?
dude on Hillside, the hottest spot.
Right. So you know Rayco? Remember Rayco?
Yeah,
they did all the rims and all that stuff.
That was on Queens Boulevard.
Rayco was on Queens Boulevard.
Yeah, I bought from
you said
Elon.
That's Hillside.
Hillside, everybody
and
used to get their cars.
Something Street.
Yeah, everybody used to get their cars from either Rayco or not Rayco, either
Hillside or Queens Boulevard.
So I got the Range from Queens Boulevard, but Tyson used to work on Hillside. So now after I got the Jaguar. This was probably like 11. When the big body Jags came out. I got the Jag, and then Tyson left Hillside, and he was working in that same dealership.
Which one?
The one on 55th.
Oh, Range Rover?
Yeah, the Range. It was
Range
Range
I was
Rover.
dealing with Charles.
Yeah, but
Charles,
he was the only
Charles
black
was black too. He's actually over in he's in Jersey. I forgot. It's gonna come to me. I done had a few drinks, but he's in Jersey. He's like the sales manager in Jersey at the Range Rover dealer.
Yeah.
I'm at not Asbury Park. I forgot the name.
Yeah,
of Jersey.
So you know Tyson was you know this. I'm
I bought my Range. I bought that Range Rover Sport from Charles.
Well, yeah, you said 06.
I bought a 06 and 05 from Charles. Junebug, shout out my man Junebug. He hooked me up with Charles and shit. Junebug was over at Popular Ford at the time, but yeah, I went in there, man. I dropped $30,000 cash, man. I told him finance the fucking rest.
Right.
And I want this bitch in silver. I want the refrigerator and all of that. And I'll be back Saturday to pick my shit up, nigga. And I came back Saturday, and I never bought a car. You know, when you buy a Range Rover, it's an experience. These motherfuckers gave me the hat. Yeah, I put the hat on with the fucking shirt.
I got
you know what I'm saying?
I
was happy as a motherfucker. I ain't gonna say what I was happy as, you know what I'm saying? But I was real happy. Flew down the West Side Highway. So that's when I started getting into, that's when you buying cars year to date.
Right.
That's when
exactly.
what the fuck is that? You know, that's when you're getting that type of, you know what I'm saying?
So remember, dude was outside like looking in the car, rubbing his hand. We at work.
Yo, I had a few whips. I had the Maserati Grand. I had a few cars like that, but the police would just be like, yo, what the fuck you do for a living? I said, mind my business. What the fuck you mean what I do for a living, motherfucker? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was getting a lot of heat with them cars, man. But I'm into real estate. Like I told you, I tried to go get the line of credit first.
Right.
I figured it out. One day I kept saying, how is everybody doing this flipping crib stuff and everything? Like, the fuck is these white people doing? And I said, I know they're not smarter than me. Like, flat out. Like, we talking about really reading and dissecting and doing shit. I put my intelligence up against these people. I says, no way these people, I'm looking at this husband and wife. I says, no fucking way. So I said, oh, snap. They got approved for a line of credit. And then they started going to get cribs. You know, we usually go out, look, and then I want to buy this house. Then you try to get financed, and then by the time you do it, the house is gone. So Klept, agents don't really want to work with somebody unless they really have a pre-approval letter. Right, what I did, when I got a line of credit, I went and got a line of credit.
So you got that cash.
Cash rules everything around me, cream. You know what I'm saying? So I got approved for $1 million line of credit. So once I got the $1 million line of credit now I started to work backwards. So then once I got approved, then I started going out and shooting and buying. The biggest thing I want to do, like I said, was acquire some land. Right. That was a personal goal of mine because I never had it before. I never owned a pond and all this stuff. But like I said before, it made me feel like a liberated slave. Like to own a piece of the earth, like really own the ground, and they ain't making no more. So it changed. That is probably one of my biggest accomplishments besides my kids. Is doing that, and it probably if you do it or when you do it, you will understand the feeling I got.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because I've been counted out. I've been all that.
Question. So Klept, you don't own the land when you buy houses here in New York, right?
You own the land. If you buy a property, yeah, you own
Right.
the land. Only thing you don't own is a co-op, because a co-op you just purchasing shares.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
shares. It's
But
almost
if you buy
if
like a house in Queens.
Yeah,
like
you
St.
own the
Albans.
land. You own the
Okay.
land under that house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they do have something where
Land
you can,
lease.
they can,
And that's like what, a lot, right? You
yeah,
own
they
the
call it a lot or partials or whatever.
Okay.
Down south they call it partials at first because, like, I'm breaking up some acres now, and I'm selling an acre. I'm selling each acre to some people that's ready to buy, and you have to get the partial numbers first.
Okay.
The partial numbers before you get the house number, like the address.
Right.
So the reason why I'm doing this shit, because I'm bored. And I want to do something that's super duper hard and super duper challenging and makes me feel like a fucking pussy, right? And I got to whoop his ass. The biggest thing about me is give me an opponent. Like with this
Right.
podcast, I wasn't rocking because I didn't have an opponent. Like I was
Right.
like, okay, we're going to do it. Then I started hearing a little hate and shit. And that shit really gets me going.
Fuels you.
Yeah, I like that shit. I let them hate us. So now I'm like, oh, I got an opponent. Oh, okay, so I'm going to knock your fucking head off,
Let's
dude.
get to
you know what
it.
I'm saying? I'm going to knock your fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's time to wrap this joint.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap this up, man. We gotta get up out of here. So like I said, we can talk forever. But man, this is another episode of Flatbush Famous, man.
Right, man. Love it, man. Thanks for
Nah,
having
no
me.
doubt, man.
Thank you
Brother,
for breaking the ice. Like I
Yeah,
said,
it's
this
dope.
is the first one in this studio here. This is our new home, Flatbush Famous. We want to
Flatbush
actually
Avenue.
thank you for actually plugging us with the studio.
Yeah.
Klept, I
my
knew,
boy,
son.
Mike and
Son.
yeah.
You never feel me, son.
Nah,
You always
can't,
come through in the
can't,
clutch. Nah,
man.
look at me, my G. You a real nigga. Came through in the clutch, made some stuff happen. You know, I'm up here from Atlanta trying to,
Yeah.
make some things happen. But it's crazy how things go. And I want y'all to
That's
remember
how
that
the
shit.
universe work.
Klept, I walked here tonight.
Nah, that's dope.
And
That's
as I
what told
walked,
you.
I said, yo, I'm always starting like this. Here I
Yeah.
go again.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
the bottom, I'm walking up Flatbush like,
Yeah.
okay, here we go again.
Yeah.
And even though it was a rough walk because there was a lot of, just mentally ill people and stuff going on, I loved every bit of it because this is how it always starts for me.
Right.
This is how it starts, and then next you know, phew, Houston Rocket. Hey, we got a wrap tonight, man. Once again, I want to thank my man Klept for coming through. Terrence Harden, man.
Definitely.
He's over at Compass Real Estate, man. Look him up if you guys looking to get some real estate in your portfolio.
Definitely.
My man Leonard, Coke, Roach, everybody for being here. Craig was in the
you
building.
guys,
We had
man.
Alex in the building. This was a beautiful episode.
And
I
I'm
want to
Leonard.
thank you. I want to thank you guys for even just believing in me, or just even in the concept of this. I salute y'all. Take my hat off to you guys. Love is love, man. We're gonna wrap this up. Flatbush Famous.
Flatbush Famous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
we
got
out.
a shout out.
Shout them out. You got shout outs to do? Yeah, I gotta do that.
No,
We got a
no,
shout out.
Nah, just shout out. I got a shout out. Let people know like we've been sticking and moving. You know, I'm part of Junior Mafia, so we got a lot of stuff happening. We did a lot of shows. We doing stuff.
Rest
with
in
the
peace,
live.
Bristol, man.
Yeah,
That's my
Bristol.
guy,
Rest in
man.
peace, Briss. And we doing a lot. We did the Budweiser show with
that.
Buster Locks, and then I got an EP Kleptocracy
Ooh.
coming out. Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Kleptocracy.
Kleptocracy.
So look up the word.
So how do you
Yeah.
come up with that? How did that come about? That's an actual word
Yeah,
in the Webster
yeah,
dictionary.
Yeah, kleptocracy.
Fuck you, did it again, you fucker, you.
Yeah,
It's an actual word in the Webster.
Yeah,
You fucker.
kleptocracy,
You always come.
yeah.
So what does it mean?
Yeah, kleptocracy.
I'm about to Google that. I'm about to ask G.
It's spelled with a K as well.
Kleptocracy.
So
it
it's
is.
an EP.
Yeah, it's an EP. I'm gonna put out an EP because you know what happened. Like, I've been doing my corporate thing
From
and
the
then-
Greek.
Let me see what you find.
What's the meaning of kleptocracy?
Is a wealth-influenced government whose corrupt leaders use political power to appropriate the wealth of their nation, typically by embezzling or misappropriating.
Yeah, that sound like you, son.
Yeah.
That man Klept.
That's my man.
It's kleptocracy. So
There you go.
but just like a lot of people, what I notice is, and I know we're wrapping up, but a lot of people like I wasn't in the game a lot because I left and went into corporate. But then when we started doing shows and people saw me, they're like, yo, what's going on? And then I started seeing that a lot of people are like, yo, we want to hear something from you.
Crazy.
So I promise I won't disappoint. I'm gonna just sprinkle stuff out there, and just so you know, I'm really doing it for my fans, and I'm doing it for my son.
No doubt. God bless.
My son. I
God
got
bless.
a 14-year-old.
He's gonna be the cool kid in school?
Now he like, yo, Papa, you got to do something before I leave my school.
Yeah, you wanna be the cool kid in school.
June.
No
So
doubt.
I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna do an EP for you.
Hey, listen, for the record,
that's all. So I hope you love it.
Shout out to Klept too, because once I told Coke that Klept was gonna be the guest, he's like, yo, I got to come through. That's my man.
Yeah.
Yo, he's still wild with the houses, like he just lost it, and he don't get hype.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what's up, man.
My dog. Yeah,
Coke, that's
Real.
my guy.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I'm doing it, like I said, for the people that wanted to see it from back when we did Junior Mafia, because there was supposed to be a Klept album. I'm gonna just toss stuff out just for the love of it, man. I ain't doing it.
Put it out,
I'm
bro.
eating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm eating. I ain't doing it like,
Right.
I need you. I'm
Right.
just doing it like, yo, take this. This what I want y'all to hear.
Giving back to the universe.
Yeah.
For sure.
This what I want y'all to hear. I hope y'all like it. Like, it is what it is. And my son, like, yo.
Yeah, well,
do it.
if you need management, holla at me.
Nah, we gonna run. We
You know what I'm
gonna
saying?
run with that.
I could always add to the little thing. I know a few
Sure.
people. We can shake the building down there.
We're at
Nah, but
2022.
This is my guy. He already
Gonna
know
be a
whatever
lot.
he's doing. I'm in it for free for the
He's
love.
torn, y'all gonna be getting mad buildings.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Yes,
get
sir.
my man whatever my man need. You know what I mean?
We're gonna piece that together.
Yeah,
for
we're
that
gonna
bag.
piece it together, man. I'm definitely on board with Klept on whatever he got going
We
on.
take payment in crypto, so
That's
Yeah.
all we taking: cryptos, Bitcoin,
crypto,
Dogecoin.
Yeah, we could
We
take some
changing it,
NFTs.
man. So some Flatbush guys that we still out here, you know,
Yep,
we
we
still out
here.
here trying to conquer. I want to talk to you off camera about some real estate stuff as far
Yeah,
as
we
you
gonna
know,
do that.
helping me diversify my portfolio. I want to thank everybody for coming through tonight. Stay tuned, man. We're gonna have some dope episodes coming up. We got my man
Yes.
Clay. Clay is calm. We're gonna shoot a nice episode with Clay, Chastity, Suzette. A lot of people
What
already
up, Clay?
confirmed. My
What
man
up?
Rico. I could go on, but I got a lot of guests booked already.
Rico and the A, they be doing Flatbush.
Yeah, my man Rico, Red Eye, tennis court. Shout out
yeah.
the whole tennis court family.
Yeah, tennis-
Shout out Region, all of that. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Rico.
Flatbush, shout out all
Sobe
up.
Bully, yeah, my man
Yeah.
Sobe, he makes
Yeah,
sure I'm
my man
alright when
Quentin and
yeah,
Aubrey,
Quentin,
the whole crew,
Quentin when
Quentin,
he
he down
makes
Miami.
Yeah, he makes sure when I come to Miami, he makes sure I'm
Sunset it out.
alright. Yeah,
I fuck
him,
with Q.
Phil
I fuck
LaMaya.
with Q since we was
yeah,
kids.
yeah. Shout out Phil LaMaya, Q. Like
Yeah,
as soon,
Big Phil.
Soon as I
Headliners,
get,
headliners.
Yeah, as soon as I get down to Miami, I call Sobe, yo, what up, son? Where you at? Yo, come see me. Let's connect. Like
It's
we go chop
unofficial.
it up, grab lunch, grab a dinner. We go. You
I
make
was
sure
just
I'm
in
alright.
Miami too. I should have hit him up.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, he actually hit me because Phil been doing damn Harbor nightclub. I think they just did fabulous joint. And I was at damn who party was it the other night? Somebody the other the Halloween party they had. I forgot who was there. I know I was at KD table because my man run
A lot of
KD.
people was there.
Yeah. So I was at their Halloween party. So shout out Sobe, shout out Phil LaMaya. They doing their thing out in Miami. Like those
Yo,
my
look for
dogs.
Flatbush
Can you
famous.
tell them about the EP one more time?
Yeah,
Kleptocracy.
Kleptocracy.
Yeah, Kleptocracy, excuse me.
Kleptocracy. Look at us spelled with a K. So yeah, we gonna piece it together. I'm gonna just toss it out there. Like I said, toss it out there just for you to enjoy. I'm gonna try to educate people, but still keep it live and fly. It ain't gonna be
doubt.
too crazy, and it's gonna be the first installment. And like I said, it ain't like yo, I'm trying to like blow up. Yeah, I'm trying to, but you gonna like what I'm talking about. So.
And when we get you back here, we're gonna find out what happened with you and Biggie, man.
Yeah, no, definitely,
Definitely,
we
man.
gonna get to it.
Hey, look,
Definitely.
we gotta save some for the part 2. Let's
Yep.
wrap this
For
up,
sure.
man.
Yep.
It's our time. Flatbush Famous is in the building, man. Once again, we
Peace
thank
out.
everybody for
Peace
supporting
out.
us. Look for new episodes. We're on every streaming platform.
2022.
All right? Peace.
Peace.
What you tell them? Yeah. Pain come and get a gift wrap. Yeah. Success is only took it like a kid now. Up in NY, I'm going across the Brooklyn Bridge. They baby come to Flatbush.